to the party, everybody. I am your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. How is everybody doing tonight? I want to give a shout out to the replay gang. Thank you so much for coming back to watch this video, guys, even though you missed the live party, which is the best part. Don't worry, you will still enjoy this, but make sure you are here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and sometimes whenever I feel like it. So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and you will never miss a live party ever again. I also want to shout out that we are doing the monetization party this Friday, starting 6 p.m. We will be going all night. So if you can't get there at 6, don't worry. Please come by. The growth of this channel is not just me. It's so much about you guys. I really want to, just do something for all of us. Before we jump in, I just want to give a quick thank you to the sponsor of the stream, my6shirt.com. You can look as beautiful as one of these ladies just by buying a shirt. Not guaranteed. Oh, look, we got another new design here, but whatever your persuasion, they've got something for you. And of course, it is the only place to get your very own The Indian Jesus official merch, only at my6shirt.com. All right, what is good? Divine and Rod in the building. What is good? Zippy Destrange. Welcome to the party. All right, guys. So I don't know how familiar too many people are with Donovan Sharpe, but he is one of these red pill guru guys, and very much respected in this, space as a pioneer and a top dog. But I don't know about that. So we have a conversation. He sat down with Just Pearly Things last week or something. But before we do that, I want to, I love my context. So let's watch this admin preach video just about Donovan Sharpe. So if you're not familiar, again, he's a red pill guy, manosphere, all of that stuff. But let's just dive right into it.
To be mean-spirited, but you married a single mom. Like, post-wall women, they get married all the time, but the men they get married to are very low value. They're beta males. They're pushovers. They're not real men. They're not the men that arouse these women.
So credits where credits due. This man makes fun of other people's spouses and different things like that. Claims he would never date a single mom. Well, somebody pulled up his quote-unquote girlfriend's bankruptcy records, because those are public records that anyone has access to, and they found some interesting information.
Hey, we got Bisky in the building. What is good? What is good? Don't we all hate those betas? And we got Dan in the building. What is good? What is good? The dark side of Denmark. Welcome from Jersey. Yeah, the alpha wolves. That's what they all like. That's what they all like. Welcome, guys.
Let's see, listen. And I'll give credit to the people involved. I'll link the videos in below. So there you go.
Devin is one of just a few women I've dated, older women I've dated, who didn't have any kids when I met them. But again, they're the exceptions. Devin is my girlfriend. She is not my wife. We have never been married. She is not a single mother, and we have not adopted anybody. I got a 13-year-old niece that stays here at least twice a week, because Olivia, she's 14 years old now, and she's a beautiful girl. She could.
And so as we now look at her application on the screen and go to the section describing her household, it states, do you have dependents? Yes. Does dependent live with you? Yes. Dependent's age, 10 years old. Dependent's relationship to debtor 1. Dog.
Yikes.
I want to make something.
So this is a guy who, all of the red pill is very much, stay away from single mothers, da-da-da-da-da-da. And, where you fall on that is not really relevant to what we're talking about. But the fact is that Donovan Sharpe is very strongly about how single mothers are for, fun only. Turns out.
Clear here. I don't care what kind of woman you choose to be your girl. Be with who you want to be. You want to date a single mom? I don't care. What I don't like, and what I think is very laughable, is you run a course, you have video clips making fun of other men for dating single moms and criticizing those women.
Now keep in mind that this also contradicts everything Donovan Sharpe has taught his audience about the types of women to avoid, going all the way back to his days when he wrote for Return of Kings, to his free ebook called 16 Ways to Immediately Disqualify Her for a Relationship, where he states that single mothers should be avoided as they make for the worst girlfriends, wives, and mothers.
So Bisky says, I want to be with Mr. Beast and I'm proud. That is something I wanted to talk about, but I don't really know the angle that I would take for this type of structure. But the fact that people, now that you bring it up, the fact that people are giving him ish for curing 1,000 blind people. I put out a short the other day, or yesterday. Like, unless you personally have solved an issue of that length, of that magnitude, then the reasons why Mr. Beast is doing what he's doing, like, irrelevant.
A single mom. And yes, listen, I know single moms are bad and this and that and the other, but we all got to start somewhere. Don't commit to them. You've been married before.
I have.
Okay, you've been married before.
I got married young, and I was married for a very long time.
Hey, we got seditionalists in the building. What is good, brother? What is good? Said single moms are great for dating, as long as you wrap yourself up and don't get trapped. Yeah, that is a very important part of this. You know, I've told the story before, but generally the way that I got into some of the red pill ideology, you know, now I'm definitely distancing myself from these people. But the message that they talk about, there's a lot of things that I agree with, and it was because I was in a relationship with a single mom, and lucky I was so much of a beta that she dumped me. And I think I dodged that bullet. Thirsty and eager. And not eager for your personality. They're eager for your resources.
You know, for the 20-something years before we met, you know, as an adult. You know, for the 20-something years before we met, you know, as an adult.
So if she is 18 of legal age and they've been for 20 years before Donovan, that would mean that she's somewhere between 38 and 41 years old. Meaning she's with Donovan for 4 to 5 years.
You know, for the 20-something years before we met, you know,
meaning that Devin is 40 to 55 or 40 to 45 years old. Is that the red pill ideology that you go after middle-aged single mothers? Now, hey, if that's what you're into, like I'm with Aber and Preach, do whatever makes you happy. And, you know, as a seditionalist said, it's fine as long as you know what you're getting into. But we're talking about what Donovan Sharpe is telling his audience.
As an adult.
I met you when you were 32. You are an older woman. Devin, my girlfriend, is an older woman. Okay? Yes, my girlfriend is an older woman. She turned 36 back in February. I misled my audience about Devin's age, but I did that for privacy purposes. Just listen, Dev is 45.
So I don't watch Donovan Sharpe. So I don't know how often he talks about this. Obviously, that's a compilation of things clipped together. But is it just me, or is it a little weird to so often talk about how old your girl is? That's weird. If she's old, whatever. That's your girl. Unless he's on the defensive, which we will see. He absolutely is.
Meanwhile, every day you get online and you lie about the fact that that woman has a daughter, that the woman that you call your girl, your wife, has a daughter. And are you lying about it? You lied about the fact that your girl's old, which is fine, but you lying about it while telling other people to not wife up used goods. That's what you say.
Devin is my.
So Abisky says, when is an age gap too big of any age gap? Asking for a friend. I don't know. I'm gonna sit on that. What do you guys think? Let's answer Bisky's question here. What age is? So are you asking how many years? Because obviously a 25-year-old and a 15-year-old is in no way cool, but a 35-year-old and a 45-year-old, that's different. So are you asking about both aspects, how many years and what age, or are you just asking for a number?
My girlfriend, she is not my wife. We have never been married. She is not a single mother, and we have not adopted anybody.
So you saying that during bankruptcy, she lied about the fact that this was her daughter? She lied to the government? Is that what you want us to believe?
Maybe
that she's committing fraud?
Maybe that's what it is. It's better than to accept that he's dating a single mother.
Okay, yes, I do. What do you take into conjunction the fact that the niece, who's exactly the exact same age, visits twice a week? The circumstantial evidence don't look good for you, does it?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
There are older women out here, older single moms who are out here out-competing younger childless women.
Yeah, because you wifed them up, bro. So, yeah. So how many years? So let's say starting at 18, to go back to Bissy's question, starting at 18, I would say on that end of the spectrum. So if you are 18, I think that it's probably at least 30 before in this day and age before it starts getting like because if you're 18 and 28, that's still a big difference, but there's a lot of immature dudes, and girls know what they're doing these days. If we are talking about so let's say somebody who's a woman who's 25, I kind of feel like all bets are off at that point. If not, at least 28. Once you're 28, then do you. I mean, if y'all remember Anna Nicole Smith, she that age gap, I don't even know if I am as old as that. So she says the men's age divided by 2 and add 7. If she's younger, the age gap is too big. That is I have heard that before. That is a good rule of thumb. I'm not going to say that. Divine Rod says age gap depends on her ability to provide payments on a 2023 4x4 Chevy Silverado. All right, whatever you're into. Hey, we got David Banner in the building. What is good, brother? Welcome. Says he's 24 and you wouldn't ever catch me with an 18, 19, or probably even 20-year-old. Yeah, I mean, I'm 33. But I would say since the time I was 27, 28, if you can't get into a bar, we have nothing to talk about. Not because I'm an alcoholic, but just that aspect, especially at 28, that was a significant part of life. So yeah, that exactly, just too mature. 30 seems quite bad for what? For an 18-year-old? Yeah, I personally wouldn't do that, but I wouldn't look down on somebody just because of that. I would be willing to accept that, okay, this is a little weird, but maybe they're good together and whatever. So it really does depend, but it's like with what was the Supreme Court decision about prawn? They're like, we don't have a great definition, but you know it when you see it. And I think this is one of those things where it's not necessarily about the number. It's more about that when you just look at it, it's like, this is weird. This guy's acting weird. He's clearly into her because she's so young and impressionable and all that stuff. Hey, we got Harley Rose in the building. What is good? Welcome to the party. The fact that I'm an alcoholic has nothing to do with it. Sure.
So how would it, listen, I'm not saying this would be easy, but it is possible. So what would be your advice to your friend?
Well, okay. So does she have full custody of this child, or does she have shared parental?
Let's say 50/50? She has a 50/50. Let's
then
say
if
1
she's
week on, 1 week
50/50,
off.
then she's not a single mom.
Oh.
That's right. Co-parent.
If you have 50/50, did she just say that? Did y'all hear that? Or am I going crazy? She really did just say that a single mom is not a single mom if they share custody, right?
Okay. So does she have full custody of this child, or does she have shared parental?
Let's say 50/50? She has a 50/50. Let's
then
say
if
1
she's
week on, 1 week
50/50,
off.
then she's not a single mom.
Oh.
That's right. Co-parenting.
Okay.
Oh, so there's a difference now between being a single mom and being somebody who co-parents. Is there though? I don't know.
Hey, okay. That makes sense because you're not a single parent at that point.
No,
okay.
you're definitely not. You're no more single than
No, you definitely are. And Bisky, this is exactly what we're focusing on tonight, is because these guys like Donovan Sharpe, like Fresh and Fit, are saying these type of things. Oh, if you're over 23, you're used goods. Well, I don't really know if that's the case here. Now, definitely in general, men look for younger women, but these hard and fast rules that these guys make and then break is really the hypocrisy that we are talking about. So the Donovan Sharpe, the guy that we're talking about, is one of these super red pill guys talking about all of this used goods and all that stuff, while meanwhile his girlfriend right here is a 45-year-old single mother. So I just wanted to show this part, and Evan Preach had some great commentary, but then he sat down with just pearly things. So that's what we are heading into. Because YouTube's where it's at. Give me a second. I'll drop you the link if you want to come over. But hey, if you want to stick over there, you are fine.
Single parent than if you were still married.
Do you see how he makes it work? Do you see how he makes it work? They made up their own definition of single mom. If we share custody,
Out of here.
did you see what she did?
You did good.
I didn't do good.
No, I know.
There's
but
other
it's
people who did this.
I know. That's not you. That's not you.
Hey, listen, Boo Boo, I'm gonna just tell you this right now. It's not because your kid goes to his dad's place 2-3 times a week that you're not a single mom. This is not an insult. It just is what it is. You are a mother and you are single. That's what the definition is. You've only changed it. Okay.
Exactly right. What David Banner saying. If she has a kid and isn't with the father, that's a single mom. Not just to you. That's what that means. If it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a single mother. The fact that that's the point, is that you guys, the Donovan Sharpes, Fresh Bits of the world, you guys are the ones pressing this this rhetoric or propaganda or whatever you want to call it, but you don't even follow it. It's one thing to disagree with the premise, but if you're not even following it, hey, we got Bisky over on the YouTube. Welcome, girl. Welcome. Yeah, it's just the hypocrisy. The hypocrisy. It's just too much.
Oh, you
To
guys.
perpetuate the fraud.
No, you guys are good. You guys are good. You guys are good.
And if I'm wrong, I want all the Red Pill fans to come in the comments saying, am I wrong about what I'm saying? If a woman says, I ain't a single mother, she's with her dad 3 days a week, what you gonna say? What you gonna say?
Donovan Sharpe made a video recently talking about my alleged wife.
So stupid. It's just so dumb.
And this,
Check this out.
Like, they really tried.
Again, it's not just about the fact that he is what it is. He's saying what he's saying. It's the hypocrisy. Check this out.
he really tried, and I'm going to explain to you because I haven't spoken about it, and I'm explaining to you what happened. What happened was this. When the whole debacle with Fresh and Fit happened, they were trying to get some juice to get at us. And what happened on my other Instagram page that got canceled, that got deleted, right? They went throughout all my pictures, and they went to see if they could find a picture of my wife. If you don't know anything about me, I don't post about what I got. I'm talking about where I live, vehicles, whatever.
Smart move.
I don't post that. I don't put pictures. I don't put pictures of my people around me. Why? Because people on the internet are fucking weirdos, okay? They found a picture of someone, and I'm going cheeks to cheeks with that person, right? We're cheeks to cheeks, and we're blowing a kiss. And they took that picture, and they said, that's his wife. Got him. It's not my wife.
No, she's a comedian.
She's a comedian.
And we've run a bunch of live shows, and she's participated.
Because she's.
I have pictures with her. He has pictures with her. Like,
Y'all remember when Abba's hair was like that? Oh man. So Harley's saying I used to take part and believe in a lot of these conversations, but as I've taken my time to learn things, I have realized that a lot of these points are wrong. So I absolutely understand where you're coming from, and I don't disagree. The fact is, the parts that are right are so relevant to a young man's life. Young meaning anywhere from 18 to 35 or whatever. They are very relevant. And so that's why when we did the Destiny and Fresh and Fit stream, it's like, are the things they are saying, are they absolutely wrong? Or is it just that these guys are not the best messengers for this message? Now, things like don't date a single mother is not necessarily good advice. I think Seditionalists had a way better thing to say about just understand that that's a different thing that you're getting into. And it's a shame. It's a shame because I was a different person. I did not understand how the world worked. I didn't understand how women viewed men. I was growing up on the blue pill plugged in Disney rom-com version of life, and it was really hurting me. So the red pill absolutely helped me navigate that. But there's only so much that it can do for you. And these guys that these guys that make their whole life about this, there's just not that much there. There's just I just read that. There's not that much there. And so they have to, create more out of nothing. And it turns into this.
She's on a lot of her bills. Unless you think Preach married a comedian, I don't know. But like,
That's my homie. That is my homie
very
for
talented.
real,
Very
okay?
talented.
She is not my wife. Very talented comedian, very talented actress in Quebec, right? Where we live at. She didn't know that. They went on and they ran with it. And they called this person a whole bunch of things, right? A whole bunch of names. Even if
Hey, we got Kelly Green in the building. What is good? What is good? Welcome, 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 brother. Glad to have you. Where is the dog? I think he's laying in his bed. Oh, he's right here. Come lay down. Everybody wants to see you. Come on, go lay down. There you go. Oh, wait. There you go. All right. A treat for Bordy. There you go. Thank Bisky. Thank Bisky. All right. Where were we? Where were we? Byron says the amount of heartache you're setting yourself up for getting attached to a single mom and kid is unbelievable. That is true. But as traditionalists pointed out, I don't even know if he was joking, but as long as you understand that, there's nothing inherently wrong with a woman because she has kids. Now, it does, I guess, lend itself to other opinions that you could that will correlate with things about those women that you don't want, to have in your girlfriend. But causation is not correlation. I said, yes, some of it is important, but I've learned to be careful because some of it is created to cause more harm than good. I agree with you there. I agree with you there.
that person was my wife. Let's say she was my wife. To go after people's wives, you have so little arguments that you have to go through people's wife, but you're so dumb that you don't even realize that's not even though. So you go out there and you slander someone that has no relationship to me. That's you.
Well, Cassie would have the
That's
world believe that she's always been this doting, dutiful. Oh, you know what? No.
so in this clip, now he's talking about another man and his wife, who also happened to be a single mother before he got married to her. And now he's talking about this woman named Cassie, who's that single mother. I want you to hear what he says about her.
So that's the context is this is how he is talking to other men who are in the exact same position as him. And he postures himself as somebody who knows better, yet he's doing the exact same thing.
Cassie West has been ran through. Cassie West was a single mom when she married David West. Cassie West chased bad boys. She's a Karen that was ran through like everybody else was a single mom. And this explains why this explains why David West is as weak as he is. But yeah, David, listen, man. I'm not trying to be mean-spirited, but you married a single mom. Like, that doesn't make you bad.
And it's the guy he's talking about. It says David West's wife, red pill dating coach, Donovan's current wife. You know what? Let's do this. Let's do this because I'm feeling frisky. So, which would you choose? They're both single mothers. So, West's wife or Donovan's girl. I don't know her name. I think Devin. Devin is the blonde. Which would you choose? Just saying. We got a lot of hate coming from Donovan Sharpe. I kind of feel like the other one's looking better. You know what I mean? David says a lot of these red pill alpha males are frauds that should not be listened to at all. That is exactly on the nose and why we are doing this, because I think the red pill message is very important. It is very important. But if it's these kinds of people who are propagating this message, it's not going to help. It's not going to help.
Dude, and Cassie, you being a single mom when you married David, that doesn't make you a bad person either. Just understand that it's out there. And so you guys on this holier than thou, oh, we did it the right way. Cassie, let's not pretend that you didn't take the typical route that most modern women take. And David, let's not pretend that you're some apex alpha male. Like, come on, like we both know.
Throwing stones from glass houses. You are here criticizing him, talking about he's not an alpha apex predator. What are you?
Stupid.
At least he admits whatever life he's living to. Who cares? You're the one who's lying about the fact that she's a niece. You're the one who's lying about your girl's age. That's you, who are not even man enough to actually come into the light with the woman that you're with.
No matter where I'm at, all right, whether it's in my house or in my Airbnb when I'm away, or
Devin, let me get you into this conversation because I met you when you were 32.
Pause. He said married. Again, he's playing on words.
He's married.
He's married to her?
He's married. They're just lying about the records.
It's sad.
Oh, I didn't even know that they're up until now. Up until I just heard that, I didn't realize that they were married, because the messaging is so convoluted on purpose. That's what people do. Holly says, what right do grown men have to sit and judge another man's wife? None. If they are married, then their affairs are nobody else's business. Completely agree with you, Harley. Hey, we got Trey in the building. What is good? What is good? Trey says, the problem is a lot of these guys start out well-intentioned, but as they notice certain types of videos do well, which is usually videos of ishing on women, so they just do that and end up going too far. 100% agree, dude. 100%. And that is, again, why I don't want to be considered in this space. I consider myself red-pilled, but I am not somebody who wants to be in this space. I am not somebody who wants to be associated with these content creators. And, who knows? I talk about them a lot. I talk about this stuff a lot. And I could, be, just by saying this, cutting my foot off and be, not get a huge collab that I would otherwise get. But I don't want that. I don't want that. I'm not here to do this. I'm here to do what we've been doing. And we're at the dance now. So I'm sticking with what got us here. Basically says, I used to watch alpha males and I have no idea why. I thought they were very entertaining, and they are. But after a while, it became dangerous. And I started to internalize these messages. I started to believe that I would be trash after 25, that I need to look a certain way for men to love me. And that is, I think what Trey is talking about, taking it too far. Do men want women who are under 25? Absolutely. Do men want women who have a low body count? Absolutely. Do men want women who are submissive? All of these things. Absolutely. But that doesn't mean that you are that you're trash just because you're older, or this or that or whatever. And it's too black and white. It's too simplistic. Hey, we got Armed With My Opinions in the building. There you go, Bisky. Another Twitcher there. Welcome back. Welcome back. Glad to see you. So David says, even using terms like alpha, beta, and beta are cringy to me. I've never met anyone that I would consider alpha use that term to describe themselves. Same here. She goes on to say, and to get to the point where only toxic-ish is getting them views. Yeah, that's the, unfortunately, the way that it works. And so if you're just in it for the money and you don't care about these people, it's very, very easy to grift. You guys know that word. That is the word that defines everybody on YouTube, to those who don't like them. But this is a real grift where you're actually spreading a message that you not only don't believe in, but you actively live in complete opposition to. What is good, Indie Fam? What is good? Welcome, welcome, welcome. He says, no offense, but that reminds me of Steven Crowder. He saw an opportunity and went for it. I don't even think he believes what he says. So, I mean, we did hours on that. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I see where you're coming from on that one.
That's you entrapped and you have to lie to so many people. That's fucking sad, my guy. Being hostage to that image that you have to lie about, you spewing like hate and lies to people just to sell an image. You're a sad, sad human being. I'm not even pissed off no more.
Let me be generous. Maybe it's not his wife. That's the girl that you've been in a committed long-term relationship for 5 to 6 years. It doesn't even change anything. The person you're choosing to make a long-term commitment to is exactly what you describe as a person not to get with everyone else.
As ran through and
used goods. That's your girl. That's how you talk about your girl.
Girls think it's cute and attractive to brag about their sexual escapades, but I waste zero.
Do they though? Now, I want you guys to. I wish I had been able to see these videos without Abin Preach, because I was thinking the exact same thing, but they say it better than I could. So let's just let them do it.
0 time and 304 shaming them. I'll refer to Dev. Dude, when we first started dating, she used to brag about the dudes that she had smashed. Straight up. She used to brag about them. Dude, she used to brag all the time. Now, at first, I just told her, okay, stop. She didn't.
Hold up. Okay, let me just say something. I don't know what's wrong with your life, brother, and the women that you're with, but no woman comes to me to tell me about all the dudes they've been ran through by. You got to be some fucking pathetic ass loser that they don't respect.
You like
if women are coming to you like, man, I took the biggest. Like, if women are saying that shit to you, you're a fucking loser, and they don't look at you anything better than the scum off their feet.
Nobody
and it's not over.
does that.
Bruh, I ain't never.
Unless-
Hey, hold up, guys in the comments. When you kicked it with a girl and she likes you, have you ever heard her start talking about the previous she used to like to take? But you realize that a lot of these dudes who do this red pill manosphere stuff, a lot of them are just cornballs who actually have zero game and zero ability to seduce women.
Now, at first, I just told her, okay, stop. She didn't. And then I told her, look, stop it. She did it one more time. One more time. She tested me.
Hey, listen. One more
And this is exactly what I was thinking, but they said it, and then we'll get to some of these comments.
time. No, can we just appreciate, again, this man established a boundary and said, don't do it. And the girl has so little respect for him. She's like, man, bro, you need to know about all the stuff. She's like, no, stop. No, you have to understand. I was with this fucking behemoth. Stop. That was it. He wanted to tell you how to be a leader. Can't even lead his own house.
Oh my days.
He got 5'2" white women disrespecting him to his face.
One more time. She tested me. I shamed her literally to tears. You better believe it.
Bro, you made a girl cry. What a badass, dude.
I called her every name in the book.
Why would you want to have a relationship with someone that you do that to?
That's your girl.
I'm not talking to him because that's sad. I'm talking to y'all people out there, okay? If you have to resort into shaming someone, get the out the relationship.
All right, so just before there's I want to Abba and Preach have amazing commentary, so definitely go check out this video. There's another clip that I want to address, but before that, where did we leave off? So Trey says the real unfortunate part is that the message went from self-improvement in lifestyle improvement. Went from self-improvement in so now just ishing on women and taking away accountability from young men. Yeah, a lot of it started out as you need to do this. You need to be better. And that wasn't selling. What was selling was the fresh and fit. Let's bring in a bunch of girls, get them drunk, make fun of them, and get rich. And it worked. It worked. So why would anybody who actually cares about this think that they're going to do any better? You're not. So it creates a divide. Do you care about this message? Do you care? And I mean, I forget who brought it up. I think Bisky brought it up about Crowder. And that is, by and large, the disconnect between the Crowders and the Daily Wires is that one is about like, hey, this is about business, this is about money. And Crowder, right or wrong, this is about the movement. This is about getting our message out there. And I it feels like that the red pill has gone the same way. Excuse me. Carly said, hey, Harley Rose, just join the Discord. Word up. That is where we have our after parties, our panels, all of that stuff 24/7. We are in there. Link in the description. Check that out. So Harley says, as a woman, I've learned to stay away from those who judge based on looks and listen to those who judge based on morals, characters, and values. I'm going to let you in on a little secret here, Harley. There are no men that don't judge on looks. There are no men that do not judge on looks. And I would argue there's very few women who don't judge based on looks. The problem is when that is the end-all, be-all. There's nothing wrong with either being attracted to someone or not being attracted to someone. If you're not attracted, there's no reason to go after that person. But if that's the only thing that matters to you, and you don't care about their morals, you don't care about their character, you don't care about their values, that is the problem. That is the problem. I think, the idea of demonizing having visual preferences is something that is easy to do because of the way that the Donovan Sharpes and Fresh and Fits put out their message. And that's the point, is that you guys are muddying the waters so that when guys like me try to talk about this stuff, we get lumped in. I don't want to be lumped in. I don't really want to talk about. So Armin, in my opinion, says, I've seen women in their 40s who look great, but that's because they work out and take care of themselves. I don't like these arbitrary rules online. These arbitrary rules these online money grabbers come up with. Exactly. David said that is a big thing. Yeah. Astronaut women have been single moms, young and loose. It takes away from your own accountability and happiness. You become a slave to the mindset that the world is a certain tint of red pill. I like what you did there. Trace, I stand by all of that. These red pill dudes were socially awkward. Yup, especially fresh. I did not get any play with women inside. They internalized that, and now they're just spewing it out online. Yup, I'm ugly and I'm proud. Yeah, right. Why is this something to brag about? As an alpha male, I made a girl cry. Cool, bro.
You do not want to be that person, and you don't want to be with someone that you disrespect like that. If the person disrespects you and you disrespect them, and then you think that's how you get out of there, that's not good.
You do that because you can't get better. Say it like it is.
This is you.
I don't have to keep nobody in line.
Say that again.
Say what?
Say that again.
Shame her. If you got value, you don't sit there having to yell and scream at a woman. You don't have to.
This is sad.
Y'all remember DJ Act? I'm the prize. I'm the prize. If you have to say you're the prize, you're probably not. So I'm not talking about attraction. I'm talking about people who prioritize looks over other things. Completely agreed. Don't do that. Don't do that.
First off, you already garnered enough respect that she never goes that far. But secondly, if she's acting out of pocket, you'd be like, deuces.
Out.
All right.
That's it. You think I would sit there unless a woman say some crazy stuff?
So I just want to get to the other clip so that we know who we're talking about as we get into the Just Pearly Things interview.
Loser fans of Destiny. Is this really the guy you look to as something
Uh-oh. Bisky, you heard what he said?
to aspire to? Would you want your life?
Oh, come on. Don't do this.
But it doesn't.
Yeah.
So it might be a lie. That shit might never happen.
Question number 4. Question number 4 to all you loser fans of Destiny. Is this really the guy you look to as something to aspire to?
Yes. Yes, I do. He is the biggest streamer in the world. He is rich as hell. He is married to he's married to a gorgeous woman, and he can do whatever he wants with other chicks. Living a better life than me. That's all I'm saying. I guess we went 50-50 on the Westlife versus Devin, so that doesn't really get us very far, but interesting. Hey, we got just a cock in the fuckery in the building. What is good? What is good? I think this is the most feminine energy we've ever had on a stream, so welcome, ladies. Just a cock says nearly everyone prioritizes looks over everything these days. Attraction can still happen if someone isn't a 9 or 10. Social media's fixation on perfection has effed up society. 100% agree. He is Donovan Sharpe, and that's why we are making fun of him.
Would you want your life to look more like his or
Yes,
more like mine?
his.
Let's do a comparison. Well, listen, now he's smarter than I am.
Okay, one for Destiny.
Number 1, he's probably got more money than I do.
Okay, that's 2.
And his wife is much younger and much hotter than my girlfriend.
Okay, what's your argument, sir?
I'll give him that. I'll concede all of that. Those are things about his life.
You know what's weird about this whole thing?
Why are you looking at people's wives, my guy?
And why you out here, like, if this is your girl, why are you constantly out here downplaying her and her looks? Why do you constantly feel the need to be like,
Fuck.
imagine being in a relationship with a guy or a girl, and the girl constantly goes out on podcasts, and she's like, yeah, my man's fine, but he's not the biggest I ever had. I've had much bigger. Even if it's true, like, why are you constantly going out there and reinforcing that stuff? That just shows that you don't respect each other.
Devin slept with a lot of guys, gentlemen. Devin has a high body count. You think I don't know that my own girlfriend has had sex with a lot of men?
So this is my question. To those of you who are a little bit more familiar with Donovan Sharpe, I know a lot of you have no idea, have never heard of him before, but if you are familiar with him, how much does he actually talk about this? How often does he actually say things like this? Because again, I know this is a compilation of times that he said it, and he's been on the platform forever. So it could be, spanning 10 years. I don't know, but still a lot. Very weird. Very, very weird. Sister says, I don't know Destiny, but if people got to ask, do you want to be more like him or me? I'll assume him is the correct answer. I mean, the only thing in the eyes of the red pill that, Destiny doesn't get credit. He's a high value man. He is on his purpose. He's got a hot girl. He can screw around with other girls. The only thing is that the marriage is open both ways. So his wife could screw other girls. But he's a super liberal. Like, what do you expect? I personally would not want that that kind of setup. I'm a monogamy guy. One man, one woman. We're a team. Let's do it. But come on, man.
You think that I found some special snowflake who declined partying through her 20s, even though she has a great body? Give me a break, guys. I am well aware that Devin's notch count is a lot higher than she will ever admit. I am 237% certain that I am not the biggest ever that Devin's ever taken.
Why are you thinking about that? This is I would never think about that. Unless I had a tiny thing. I probably, what? I'm sure my girl has definitely taken bigger D's than me. So buy my course on how to get women.
And the way I is not the best she's ever had. She's had bigger and better than me. She hasn't told me this, but I know. I'm almost positive Devin's had bigger, better than mine. But if I ever found out what one of these guys looked like, if I ever found out that one of those guys had a 12-inch, you better believe I'm going to be insecure.
You're already insecure, my friend. Very insecure. Exactly. Yep. It is. And again, I never really followed this guy, but when I was getting into the red pill space and I was like, oh, these guys are awesome. They know so much. And again, a lot of stuff that I needed to learn. This name was all over the place. Donovan Sharpe, Coach Greg Adams. They were talked about in the same realm. This is the guy? This is the guy? Like, talk about a disappointment. David says, WTF, this guy, Donovan, is damaged. Why is he so eager to say his woman is unattractive and has taken bigger D's than his? And that's why I ask, how often does this actually come up? Because we have to be fair. This is a compilation, and he is a live streamer that says a lot of stuff. I just feel like, regardless, you will not find that much content about me, I don't know, talk about anything like that. Like, what? Why? What is? And then to think about the type of person that watches, like, oh, yeah, she definitely had a bigger D than you. Go, bro, I'm with you. What? How does that work? I said, me too.
You kidding me? I don't have a 12-inch dick. Devin's had bigger dicks than her. Now I got to see what that looks like. Of course it makes us insecure. That's another reason why men of value don't commit to women with high body counts.
No.
He says men of high value don't commit to women with high body counts. And yet.
He committed to it.
And yet.
It's because we know the more that have been in you, the more huge that have been in you. It's just mathematical. If you've been with 5 guys, okay, all right, we can deal with that. If you've been with 555, dude, you've probably
Now I can't have
So notice the bait and switch that he just pulled. The more bigger D's that you have, it really matters. Usually the red pill argument is the more bodies that you have, it messes with your ability to power bond. And so when you are, having sex with somebody that you actually do love, the oxytocin and dopamine that's released is lesser than if you have a lower body count. But that's not what he said.
And yet.
that have been in you. It's because we know the more that have been in you, the more huge that have been in you. It's just mathematical. If you've been with 5 guys, okay, all right, we can deal with that. If you've been with 555, dude, you've probably
Now I can't have burgers no more.
Hey man, this man's really thought about this shit. You can tell like this is a deep insecurity. I'll be honest with you, I don't worry about stuff like that. 1, because I'm packing, but 2, mostly because like when I'm with a girl, I ain't worried about what the last dude did. I'm not worried about the guy before. Like, who cares? When she going with me, we gonna do our own thing together. That's it. I don't need to know the whole history.
Exactly. So that I wanted to show you that. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it, but now let's get to, now that we know that is all where, not only who this guy is, but where he is in terms of what the internet is thinking. I'm pretty sure this conversation happened before all of this came out, or at least the Abba and Preach video. Because I don't know, again, if you're not in the red pill space, and I kind of am as a viewer, and definitely if you're not a viewer of red pill content, then why would you have any idea who this guy is? So he is able to present himself as he wants on in this interview, and we'll see if he's full of ish. So yeah, I mean, Harley, if that's what you want to do, I say go for it. I don't like the idea of the hijab or the burqas because of what they represent, you know, in other cultures where there is actual oppression against women. But like, if you just want to cover yourself, then hey, do you. Don't let anybody, you know, tell you anything different. And that is way healthier than what a lot of women who were unfortunately either essayed or something negative like that has happened in their life. They will purposely make themselves unattractive. They will gain weight. They'll, you know, shave their head and do all this kind of stuff so that they are no longer attractive to men, which I think is very sad. I think it's very sad. So this is a much healthier way to go about it, and I'm with you if that's what you would like. It said, wearing hijab is not punishing society. Did she say it was punishing society? Watch society rage when they no longer judge me for the way I don't know. I don't think that's what she was saying. I mean, feel free to correct me, Harley. I think it would have a bigger impact on your self-image than how society would view you. If I may, since we have women here, I think this what David is saying is coming very strictly from a male perspective. I think, and again, please correct me, I think what Harley is saying is not that she wants to troll all of society by wearing a hijab. She just wants to remove herself from the pool of women who get objectified. Is that kind of what you're saying? And Sister says, another great reason to date single moms. By the way, it lowers the chance you'll encounter a starfish in the bedroom. I mean, I will tell you, that single mother. All right, Pearl, let's see what you got.
We go way back.
Yes, we do.
We
Yeah,
go.
we do.
You want to tell them how we met?
Oh my
wait,
God.
no, don't tell that story.
Okay, all right. Are you sure about that?
No, okay. Let's just say he reacted to one of my videos.
I reacted to one of her videos, and then I actually brought you on. And, you know, we discussed things together. That was actually pretty cool because Devin ended up coming on and talking to you too.
love talking.
Yeah.
I love Devin. Me and Devin are besties now.
Guys, if you could do me a huge favor, there is only one way this party is going to grow, and I need your help, aside from liking the video, which is a huge help. If you could really quick, just take the URL or even slap that share button, push this party out wherever you can, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Let's get this party popping.
This is interesting. I think the reason why you wanted to talk to Devin was because you wanted to see if, okay, Donovan says she does this and she's like that. What is she really like? You know, because a lot of, I talk about Devin a lot and people just don't believe that she is the way she is.
Because you would say something like, oh my gosh, like I didn't love her the most.
Yes.
And I was like, you put that on Instagram?
Yes.
And I was like, who is this girl that she's totally cool with her man talking about he loved his ex more than her? I'm like,
Well,
So again, now we're talking about a different person who is talking negatively about their women, their woman. When we just saw Donovan was doing the exact same thing to Devin. So Jessica Cox says, I noticed a lot of hypocrisy with the body count. This is just, it's not a hypocrisy. It's just it may be a double standard, but it's not hypocrisy because men and women are different. That's just a fact. So the way that we view this body count in a man is very different because you have to achieve something in order to catch a body. As a woman, you just don't. Yeah. So no, it doesn't punish society. Instead, it reminds me, Harley, that the way I look is not as important as my morals and my values. I love it. I'm all for it. Yeah, there's the cog. The locks and keys. A good lock, a good lock can only be opened by one key. A good key can open every lock. And I know it's kind of basic and simplistic, but unless you have a reason why that's not the case, then and then they go and find a woman in their 20s, they'll pass for the 304s. I mean, yeah, a lot of people do, but I don't. That's as much of a generalization as anything that these red pill guys say about women. So yes, men do this sometimes.
Well, here's the thing.
But she explained it.
Well, and I'll explain it.
Yeah.
A man can, the best relationship a man will ever be in
Yeah.
it can never be with the woman he loves the most. Let me repeat that. The best relationship a man can ever be in can never be with the woman he loves the most. And the reason for that,
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that that is complete BS. I am, you know, I've definitely had experiences in my life. I am not the most experienced person, but I've definitely been in multiple relationships over years that were very serious. And so maybe I don't have a huge body count, but I've definitely been in the depths of a relationship. I would say more than a lot of people. There has never been a sexual encounter that I've had that was better than with someone that I had an emotional connection to. That is, yeah. Exactly.
is because if you love a woman that much, you are unable to do and say what needs to be said and done.
So that's his argument. If you love the woman so much, you're just going to be a beta simp and you're not going to be able to be the man. Or maybe you just don't be a beta simp and be a man.
And so, Devin, I love her to the moon and back. But right off the top of my head, I can think of 3 other women that I have loved more than her.
So as a girl, do you think we should go for guys that loved other women more than us? From the woman's point of view. So like,
wow, that's
like
a good question.
How is that not that's such an easy question. So, okay. If you're saying that you can never have the best experience with a woman that you love, then women should go for men who have an ex that they love, right? That is terrible advice. That is, yes, and a terrible idea of love in general. That is crazy. That is crazy. So just I hope the guy in the yellow I hope for the guy in the yellow that he is not in an actual relationship. Bro, that's the guy we were just talking about. In the other video. This is the same guy. That's why I was showing you that. The same guy who was talking all that ish about his girl and lied about how she wasn't a single mother, and then it came out she was a single mother. Was talking about she was a little bit older, maybe, which implying that she was like 30-ish, when really she's somewhere around 45. That's that guy.
Because I always think of it from the women, right? So if I'm going for a guy and he has an ex that I can tell he really, really loved, like, and is that a red flag or a green flag?
Jesus, that's a really good question. Well, the woman that I love the most was that crazy story I told you about the trailer park, right?
Yeah.
So Devin does not.
So how does Devin feel about that?
She does not have to worry about her. I think that's an interesting question. I think a lot of women would love to think that the man that they're with loves them the most. But when it comes down to it, man, like, yes, men, we have egos and all that good stuff, but women, you guys have bigger egos than we do as far as the love game is concerned. So much, in fact, that if a man actually has the audacity to stick his dick in another chick, oh my God, even though he takes care of me, you're the girls on Fresh and Fit. They ask him all the time. Okay, he's rich, he's ripped, he takes care of you, you're driving a G-Wagon, you know, you got a $5,000 allowance, you got American Express black card, you never have to want for anything. And if he cheats on you with if he sleeps with another woman, oh my God, it's over. The ego is so big with women.
That was the hardest thing for me to get over too.
And so when you say things like that, there is a lot of women where the default is to have your ego there. So the core nugget of what you're saying has some sort of truth. But where you're coming from with it is so far left that it's not even applicable to anything. Is anything that he's saying applicable to any of your lives?
Oh, that was really hard. Like, cause I don't know. I just grew up in a family where like cheating. I know no one in the red pill believes me, but my dad.
It was a different time. It was a different time, you know.
I don't know if necessarily it was a different time.
This is your father.
So Kelly says, if I cheated on my woman, I would expect her to drop me instantly. Can you see a situation where you would want to be with a woman and you agree upon it beforehand that your side of the relationship is open? No, I wouldn't want to do that. I don't have the I'm single and I still don't have the energy to deal with these. So if I already had a woman, there is no way that I would want to spend my time looking for additional women. But that's how a lot of people live and want to live. And so I'm just curious. David says, how can he talk about women's ego is bigger when literally his ego has him saying she has for sure had bigger D's than mine. Well, I mean, that just shows how little his ego is. Well, Yeah, that shows how little his ego is, that he has to put that out there to be like, I know, okay? Leave me alone. But I don't know what this is referring to. Definitely delusional. Yeah, exactly. That makes sense, but I think that a mutual open relationship is contrary to a relationship. I like that. Yeah, I have no desire to live in that way, and I just think that a lot of people do, and I don't feel the right to come in and say you're living the wrong way. But I do think that is not the best way to have a relationship, and I think Kelly puts it perfectly.
What?
This is your father.
Exactly, Jessica.
There was definitely a difference.
Well, I mean, but it was still the 70s or 8 when they met. That's after free love. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh my God, Jesus Christ.
you know what I mean? Or like
Yeah,
the
that's
70s
true.
or 80s. It's not like, well,
Yeah.
my dad was born in 65, so they were like, he was like 20.
Hey, we got Alex Pickus in the building. What is good, brother? Glad to see you. Screw you, Nightbot. We can ignore that. Thank you for stopping by. How are you doing? We are talking about Donovan Sharpe and how he is another red pill fraud.
Something. So I don't know.
Your dad was born in 65?
Yeah, my dad. Yeah.
Oh, well, you're younger than me. Of course my mom and dad are younger.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So my dad was like, what? You're 45, you said?
I'm 45. My
So-
father is, 62-ish.
Yeah. So my
Okay.
dad's like 55.
Oh,
or
yeah.
something.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. Like, is it a
Hey, we got Jay in the building. What is good? Welcome, buddy. Welcome. Glad to see you.
different time if you're 45 and you experienced
Sure.
like 10
Yeah.
years, you know?
Yeah.
Like I just think like certain people, I don't know what it was.
I think it's just better. I think it's just better for a woman not to know. The reason why I put it out there is because I wanted to impart upon people
I wanted
that
to know.
yeah, it's great if you love a woman and you do anything for her, but that's not the woman you
Well,
want to be. In a
and we don't
relationship
love
with.
them.
No,
Like we don't love the guys that like
loves
would
you
do
the most.
Yeah,
Right.
which is
That's
yeah.
true.
The one that's
That's true. That is something that I found out the hard way. And again, luckily, it was with this this toxic single mother. But I love hard. I fall hard. And especially when the circumstances were such that it was right at the beginning of the lockdown. So nobody had anything to do. Nobody could go anywhere. So we were just texting back and forth all day. And she was, she was all about it for a while. And then I was just too available. And that's the benefit of the red pill, is to understand those types of things. And again, it just goes too far. So yeah, definitely check out Red Pill Examine. If this is what they're doing, I am all for it.
a very good point. The woman you love the most will
Won't
not love you. Yeah, she
and
will
that's
never
the
love you as
experience
much.
I've had, like the person I'm thinking of, it's like that's who, like she dumped him. You know what I mean?
There you go.
But it's like I don't know. I feel like that guy will like never get over, you know?
Yeah, that's just now.
Maybe not never, because men and women, like when they look at their exes, I feel like it's different.
How so?
Like, okay.
So when men and women look at their exes, they look at this differently. So what I'm looking for is not a brilliant point that Pearl is going to drop. Not that she couldn't, but what I'm looking for is whatever she says, how is Donovan going to reply to it?
How do I put it? Like men that will value, like if a girl's been there for like 10, 20 years.
Yes.
Where a girl, it's like,
Yeah, we watched it right before this.
if she misses an ex and like feels like her ex is the one that doesn't get over and she marries someone else, like I think she's more likely to just F up her family and leave.
Yep.
Where the men, like I don't want to say they don't do that, but it's not as common.
No, it's not nearly as common.
I can't think of any story that's happened, but it's like all the leading love stories are women, like Titanic, The Notebook. Like women love those movies, and it's both them effing it up with the guy that loves them a lot. Like the one girl was engaged, the one girl, and they both. I mean, I know the guy in Titanic kind of was freaking out at the end.
Yeah,
but you see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
it's like both of them were in good situations, screwed it up for an ex, and it's like, why did so many women resonate with those movies?
Well, because
resonate or resonate. Sorry, I'm a grammar. I don't even. Am I allowed to say nerdsy? I don't know. All of my videos, like 65% of my videos, now that I'm monetized, hit that super chat button. have ads limited ad suitability. So I don't know what I'm allowed to say. So I'm trying to dance around words, but just stick with me.
Because it is.
So yeah, we want to see what is his response to this.
Because of the romanticism. Think about it. Cal, who was Kate Winslet's fiance, he was a little old. He was a little older, but he was rich, right? Like she was taken care of. The Heart of the Ocean, Diamond, and 56 Carats, and all that. And Hollywood romanticizes. Oh, the young starving artist who's hot and blah 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 blah. Let's just say the Titanic did not go down. If Rose moves.
So before he goes into this, was just a cog saying, I think the problem is when someone cares, most people just say it as a way to take advantage rather than to appreciate the person as a whole. I'm giving that the air horn. I think that is so accurate. It's so accurate that every girl I've ever been into, it's just not, I didn't realize that this is how people think. That I'm just going to be a nice guy. I want to show, whatever. And it is, it's just, people are mean.
To New York with Jack Dawson, that would have fucked everything up. Their marriage.
She would have left him.
She would have left his ass and gone right back to Cal, and Cal would have said, "Fuck you. I got a younger, hotter you."
Yeah.
Real quick, guys, I got to pull up about the captions. One person is saying they don't like the captions. I like the captions, and we're 80%. Give me one more.
That was, dude, Titanic is total bullshit.
That's okay. You know what's funny? Even as a kid, I hated Titanic.
Did you?
Yes, because I thought.
How dare you?
Who hates Titanic? Oh, see, everybody likes it. Sorry, traditionalist. Yeah, seriously though, who hates Titanic?
I mean, whenever I first saw it, I think I was over the age of 12. So
Yeah.
I don't know how old I was.
Right.
But I remember thinking like that Titanic and The Notebook were both so stupid because I've always been me. You know what I mean? so I'm like, she wasn't in love with him. She was in lust. Like I remember saying this to my friend.
Yeah, right.
Because I'm like, you knew him for like a couple days.
Yep.
And now you're screwing him in the car?
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
You realize this is just a retelling of Romeo and Juliet, right?
Wasn't it like a Model T or something like that?
And then she jumped on the boat for this man she's barely knows.
It's ridiculous.
Stay on your boat. If she had let him go, he could have been on the wood.
Titanic, to me, and by the way, they've diagrammed it, and he could have fed on the plank and all that, but he had to die, right? That's just how it is. This is why people idolize.
What are we
Tupac
talking
so
about?
much. This is why people have a blind spot for Tupac because he's dead. Tupac was a simp in real life. He was a gangster on the mic, but he was a simp in real life. That's just all there was to it.
I'm not even a rap fan, but the fact that we are talking about the guy whose girl at the time now has embarrassed her husband. We're talking about Jada Pinkett Smith and Will, because of how stuck on Tupac she was. How does that make him a simp? How does that make in any way? He's somehow complaining that Tupac was a simp. Let's see if he has anything behind it or if he's just saying things.
Jada Pinkett fell in love with who she thought Tupac was. That's why she never got over him. But regarding the whole Jack and the whole Jack and Rose situation, yeah, this woman was engaged to be married, had it great, cheats on him with this kid. If I'm Cal,
okay, I see what they're going at now. So, yeah, right. So what he is saying is that the story of Titanic, the fact that this girl was an elite, she had everything going for her, a man with resources, so on and so forth. It is unrealistic that she would fall for somebody like a Jack. Is it though? I kind of feel like that makes a lot of sense. I guess, Jay, you're the only one. I got you. I got you. If nobody else wants to shout out for Tupac. So it says, actually, no. They proved that actually both of them couldn't fit on the wood. Not that it has any relevance to that conversation. I did see that recently. I did see that. Hey, we got Jay Supreme in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Shout out to you and shout out to Tupac. We are going through this conversation with the Indian Jesus. Nope, that's me. I was reading this. We're going through the conversation with Donovan Sharpe and Just Pearly Things after Abin Preach just exposed Donovan Sharpe as a red pill fraud.
Dude, I'm pretty furious too. Like, I put my name out there. I've claimed you as my woman, and you're running around below decks dancing with this American kid who came from Old Paris. I'd be.
You know what that would the actual red pill advice for that is? Well, first they would say, she's not yours. It's just your turn. And if she is going with another guy, then you as a man failed to maintain frame and to keep her genuine burning desire. It's so sad that this semantic obfuscation, everybody drink for semantic obfuscation. The fact is that even in the red pill space now, what is a simp and what is an alpha can just be changed based on whatever works for you. Hey, we got Dr. Evil Genius in the building. What is good? Please, guys, definitely go check out his channel. They are so close to monetization. And as somebody who has just hit that mark, the feeling inside when that happens is something that if I could, I would give to everybody. And Dr. Evil Genius and the Talking Shit podcast would be first. So definitely go check them out. Welcome, brother. Please feel free to drop your link, and glad you're here. And I'm actually very interested what you have to say about this, because I think you're a little bit more familiar with Donovan Sharpe than I am. Rose is definitely for the streets. That is true. But hey, Harley says, right, because we should judge those based on their wealth and materials and not based on their character. Granted, I'm not advocating for cheating, but there's a lot they overlook. Exactly. She was, the dude smacked her in the face over a table. Did we watch the same movie? I get it was the 20s, but Jack didn't do that. I mean, just human to human. If I could be with somebody who's going to smack me and level me versus somebody who's going to draw me and fawn over me, and we're going to die, I'm going with the second.
Be feeling some type of way too. But, and here's the thing. I'm glad that he was, I know he was pissed off at DiCaprio's character, but he shouldn't have been. He should have been pissed off at the girl.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. There's so many guys who, when they find out their girl cheated on them, they misdirect their anger and they want to do something to the guy. My nigga.
I agree with this. This is a very odd thing that I've never understood. Unless it's, something personal where, your girl is sleeping with your friend or, a coworker that's been an issue or something like that. But if she's just with some random dude and you catch them and then you go after the dude, it's like, what?
How dare you?
Your girl is the one who's for the streets. Dude, just being a dude.
Nigga, that's on your girl, man. Like, that's all there is to it. Well, you shouldn't have hit on her, blah, 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 blah. Well, your girl was sending me choosing signals. And 9 times out of 10, the bitch always tells the dudes they're fucking that they don't have a boyfriend. But the boyfriend still gets mad that she cheated. How am I supposed to know if she tells me I don't have a boyfriend? What am I supposed to do? No, I don't believe you. Let me see your phone. Fuck out of here.
Hey, we got Meat 18 in the building. Welcome to the party. Glad to see you. We are here exposing Donovan Sharpe as being yet another red pill fraud. As good as the red pill message can be, not with these guys. Welcome.
Yeah, she was the first 304.
Oh, yes, she was. Rose was the first hoe.
Yeah, the first 304.
Yeah, so, and her body count was 2. At that point, 2 was a lot. She fucked Cal, and then she fucked Jack.
Her body count was 2?
Well, she was a virgin when she met Cal, remember?
Oh, I don't know. I've only seen the movie.
Well,
this analogy has gone on way too long.
Here's the thing, remember, Jack ended up dying, right?
Yeah.
Cal, obviously just didn't want to be with her anymore. She ended up in New York City with a body count of 2. Tell me she didn't get around. You're right.
My one night in New York City. If anybody gets that reference, you're the one.
Rose with the first hoe, 1912, y'all.
Yeah.
1912.
Do you think that? What's your opinion on like body count? Should guys ask for a girl's body count?
No. Never, gentlemen. Oh my God, guys, listen to me.
Should guys ask about her exes? Like what's the?
No.
Don't ask.
You don't want to know. You don't want to know. Because again, this whole thing that, somebody like Donovan is going to say, oh, it's going to make me insecure. But it's just not a good way that you want to think of this person. We all know, we're all adults. We all understand that people do things. But the same way that you don't want somebody to cheat on you, you don't want to think about that actually happening, whether it's real or not. That's not a fun thought. And so there's really no reason to go down that road. If you have a reason to suspect that their body count is way higher than you would be comfortable with, that's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. Actions speak louder than words.
No, you don't ask, you observe. There are so many relationship and dating experts that say, well, if you want to know something about a woman, communicate with her, ask her. No, you want to know why? Because women fucking lie. They lie their fucking asses off.
And this is what, sure, but people lie. People lie.
When you ask a girl about her body count, it does two things. Number one, it makes you look insecure as a man. Number one. Number two, she is going to lie. It doesn't matter what number she tells you. Whatever number she tells you guys, multiply it by 17 dozen, and that's around the answer. That's probably around
dozen.
Yeah. I mean, give or take a dozen in either direction. You never know. But yeah, don't ask women about their body counts, man, because
don't do it. Hey, we got 2B Artistry in the building. Welcome. Yet another awesome YouTuber and amazing artist. Give me a second. I'll drop the link for her channel as well. What did you stumble into? Well, we are exposing more of the red pill BS. Not that the red pill itself is necessarily BS, but those who are spreading it, at least at the top, certainly are. Welcome to the party, girl. Wow, now we got 4 girls here. This is the Sausage Fest era is over, guys. Sosha says, sure, no communication is the way to keep a relationship working for sure. Yeah. Just know what and what not to talk about. Exactly. He says all women are liars. Okay, and then they wonder why people don't like them. Yep. And Byron says, to be honest, I am looking for a language barrier in my next relationship. I mean, there's definitely the pros and cons on that one.
She's never going to tell you the truth. Instead, you observe. Now, ladies, if your guy asks you your body count, keep an eye out. You lie your ass off. However, there is a caveat. Okay. If a girl is messing around a dude, if a girl is messing around with a dude who asks her what her body count is, chances are he probably doesn't have game. He probably doesn't have that much experience with women, because if you have experience with women, you know not to ask them their body counts because you know they're going to lie. However,
so for men, actions can speak louder than words, but for women, it must be different. That is an example of where the biological double standard doesn't really work, because this is just about general human psychology. That's it.
Let's just say that there is one gross outlier, a guy who actually has a little bit of game and knows his way around a woman, asks you the body count question. Tell him 7. Lie your ass off. But the caveat is this, and this is why we tell guys to observe. If you tell a guy that your body count is 7, but your body count is closer to 77, you better act like your body count is 7.
I'll agree with that. I think that's a good way, because again, guys don't want to know this, and if he is asking and he's not letting it go, I think that's a white lie. Hey, we got Kluke in the building. What is good? Thank you so much, brother. Really do appreciate it. That super chat button does work. Thank you for joining us, brother. Harley said, wait, so women are liars and not to trust them, but he just told women to lie. This is why I'm not a guy that you want to listen to. No freedoms in the building. What is good? Women, No Freedom says, are useless and only good for baby making. Men are useful until they break the system and need to be put down like a dog. I'm going to go with David here and completely agree.
Because let's just say I'm dating a girl and in a moment of weakness, I get drunk. What's your body count? 7. I'm like, oh, okay. But then she has a tattoo, right? She seems to know a lot of guys. She's very flirtatious. When she's around men she's attracted to, she gets demonstrative. Have you ever
Hey, we got Sam Froggies in the building. Welcome to the party. We are exposing Donovan Sharpe as being yet another red pill fraud. And Jay, oh man, Jay. Yes, brother. 77 is like, I mean, it's bad, but you can find thousands. Girls who've got thousands coming out of college. It's bad. It's bad. Where are we? Yes, definitely. No freedoms needs hugs.
Have you ever heard of this before? Like you can tell when a woman is attracted to a man when she, like, if you're at the grocery store, right? If a woman's at a grocery store and she finds herself being attracted to you, she will do things to get your attention. She'll be demonstrative. Maybe she'll make a motion. So she'll maybe speak a little bit louder so that you turn your head in that direction. This actually happened with me and Devin when we went to Hawaii. This happened to me and Devin when we went to Hawaii. So we're sitting there at breakfast, and we had only been seeing each other for a few months. And we're right in front of each other. And I noticed that all of a sudden she starts talking with her hands. Devin never talks with her hands because she's a low-key person. I instantly knew what was going on. I turn around and it looks like, and it's basically Thor sitting behind me.
So remember in the Abba Preach video, he had already told her, or he said that he had told her that he doesn't want to hear about her previous escapades. But she didn't respect him. So she did it again. And he told her, hey, I set a boundary and you're crossing it. And she did it again. And now you're telling a story about y'all are just out here in the supermarket or whatever, and she's flirting with dudes right in front of your face. Is this maintaining frame?
You want to know what I did? I got to the side just like this so that they could see each other. I said, well, Devin, like, if you want the guy's number, you should just ask him. I mean, we can trade up hotel rooms. They both turned a brilliant shade of magenta, and Devin never flirted with another man in front of me since then.
Oh, dude, you are the man. Like, again, the same argument we were talking about before when he was talking about the same exact thing, and he's like, I made her cry. You shouldn't need to make your girlfriend cry for her not to want to flirt with other dudes in front of your face. You are not, I mean, come on, dude. Come on.
Do you think?
Well, let's get some of these. Sam Froggy says body counts don't matter. It's a societal double standard that it seems as normal for men to have sex with loads of women, but women are seen as lesser for sleeping with men. That is correct, and acutely so, because as we've talked about many times, the lock and key analogy, a good lock will only be opened by one key, whereas a good key will open any lock. What that means is as a man, in order to have sex, you have to accomplish something. That is not the case for a woman. So there's no honor or value in running up your numbers. While there may not be honor, there absolutely is achievement in running up your numbers as a man. That's just the reality of it. You cannot be a loser with no money, who lives at home, and go down the list and get a high body count. Unless you're, one of these super ultra mega chads and you look amazing. Most people are not most men are not racking up numbers the way women are. So David said, you just said people live in fairy tales, and then said some fairy tale shit. Yep. Kluk says, this dude just said that like it's a good thing. Yep. 2B says, why are tats bad? This dude must need validation to feel so important. He is insecure, clearly. Sounds like he wants to be lied to and hopes he will be so he can feel important. I think that is an amazing observation about this dude. That is on point. I didn't even get the last part, but yeah, it sounds like he is projecting that he doesn't want to know the reality, even though he's the red pill guy. He doesn't want to know the reality. He just wants to live in his utopian world where, this girl that has a daughter has never been with anybody else. But it eats away at him. So he's like, yeah, I know she's had bigger D's. I know she's done this, that, and the other. I know that. Like, bro, this is not going the way you think it's going. Dr. Virginia says, bragging about responding to being identified as the beta of two men ain't a win. No, it is not. Imagine being so insecure you need to be toxic to your partner in an attempt to maintain a relationship instead of just cutting it off and going back to fishing. Exactly. Why is that a thing? Thank you so much, Dr. Evil Genius. In fact, the super chat button does work. Feel free to use it. Thank you so much, brother. I very much appreciate it. And shout out to Dr. Evil Genius.
She's doing that intentionally?
Oh, absolutely. 1000%.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you better believe it. Again, look, dude, like.
Because in my head, like, I'm a big, like, I give people, like, the benefit of the doubt.
No.
So, okay,
yeah. You're.
Sorry, I don't know.
Yeah. You're
so
a woman.
I'm just like.
What was that? What was that?
Oh, she's just talking with her hands.
No, she was talking with her hands to become. And the reason I knew that is because I'll be in Vegas at a corner store, a casino, whatever the case may be, and I'll hear a woman talking loudly, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, oh, well, who the hell is that? After a while, I started figuring out, oh, she's giving me indirect choosing signals. I go,
wow, what a brilliant guy. What would we do? Without Donovan Sharpe's advice that if a girl is talking loud and playing with her hair and flirting with you, that she's flirting with you?
Go over there and approach.
So
and
what
that's
made you not like break up with her over that?
We were not committed to each other yet. She was still in the training process.
Oh.
Then it seems like your vetting process didn't really go well. Now, did it?
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious if you would advise a guy to break up with a girl over that if they're together.
No. Well, it depends on how.
No. Your girl is flirting with other dudes in front of your face, but don't break up with her. She's probably a very nice person who cares and respects you very, very much.
How far along it is in the relationship and how serious it is. So this was during the training process. We'd been seeing each other.
Because she responded well.
Well,
so Harley, he's saying that talking with your hands is not flirting, but if you act in a certain way that you don't normally act, then people do this. That's how you start the flirtation dance. Maybe it's a couple glances, like I was talking about, playing with your hair, doing a little cute. That's what he's talking about. That's what his wife. Now he's saying they weren't together like that before, but he made her his wife. His wife was doing this to other men in front of his face. Oh yeah, that's exactly who this dude is. And he was how insecure is his girlfriend to stay with him and put up in this nonsense. Correct, wife. Yeah, that's a very, very good point. During the training process, the process of cracking her whip and seeing how much you'll take. A lot, apparently. So yeah, let's go back and
this was during the training process. We'd been seeing each other.
Because she responded well.
Well, yeah.
Coachable? Okay.
Yeah.
Did she though?
I mean, guys have to understand when you're training a woman for a relationship, there's going to be a learning curve. She's not going to get it right all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And Devin, she was 39 years old. She had just come out of a 20-year marriage, which by the way was one of the reasons I actually took her a little bit more seriously, is because she had relationship skills. She was in a marriage for 20 years, but by the same token, she had been divorced for 6 months and was doing.
She was divorced for 6 months of a 20-year marriage? Why? The training process is just how he is saying that he wants to take who she is and mold her to what he wants. Now, there is a way that, certainly not a training process, but there is certainly a process that facts, bro. He definitely is a rebound guy. 100%. 100%. But yeah, it's just the idea of showing her, the men want to be leaders in a relationship, and most women want to have a leader that they can trust in. So the training process, as he puts so in an ugly terminology, is basically just the getting to know each other phase. That's all he means. But he has to be the red pill guy. But, oh yeah, I trained her after she was married for 20 years, after she had a kid, after she did all of this. Okay, bro. Sam Froggy says it's okay to act that way if all parties are comfortable. There's nothing wrong with playing with your hair, in my opinion. Just because you're with someone else doesn't mean you can't express attraction to others or be more flirtatious. Your partner doesn't own you nor control your behavior. I gotta disagree with you there, bro. I gotta disagree with you there. That is super disrespectful to be flirting in front. If I'm with you and you're flirting with another guy in front of my face, that is disrespectful. If you don't have enough respect for me just to do it when I'm not there, then you obviously don't see me as the guy that you want to be leading this relationship. Yeah, exactly. Any feelings? I'm sure he was completely over her. She was completely over her previous relationship. Perfectly normal, perfectly healthy. Don't forget that he thinks. Don't forget that he thinks about his rebound, taking other D's, and says she's not that attractive. Super mega alpha. Rebound guy got turned into a cuck. So not on the screen. But yes, who he's talking about is his wife. And yeah, just the process of saying, I'm the man, I'm going to do, what I'm going to do. And if you're with it, you can follow along. If not, then you can move on. That's really all he's talking about. Hey, Kluke with the 199 super chat. Thank you so much, brother. I agree. Let's get it started. And a different shade of purple. Hey, with the $10. Thank you so much. So despite his hypocrisy, men do have a right to demand what they want in a relationship. Women tell men that in order to gain their affection, not only do they need to earn it, but be worthy of it. I think that part, and that's why I'm saying that the training process is a terrible way to put it, because it doesn't actually refer to anything that's that bad or misogynistic or whatever. It's just putting it that way is a very easy way to get the red pill ragers to go, oh yeah, train that B. Like, come on, guy. Exactly. You've never heard it training because that is a stupid way to talk about it. The only way that you want to, the only reason you would want to do that is to flex in front of other dudes.
All the things that divorcees that are attractive do when they get divorced. And so I had to train a lot of those bad habits out of her, which included indirectly flirting with men in my presence.
So as like from the woman's point of view, what like bad habits can we get rid of to like make us more marriageable to the men today?
So I'll re-ask the question for you. What are the types of things you should do and not do, right, to not set off a guy's alarm bells, right? So,
definitely nobody saw me just choke on my own drink, right?
First of all, stay off your phone. Stay off your phone. That's what I would do. Second thing I would do.
That's your advice to women in 2023. Stay off your phone. That's how you're going to find a man. Is that real? I mean, sure. Would a man prefer that a woman that he's with is not all over Instagram, specifically posting, thirst traps and everything? Sure. But that's your advice to women? Put down the phone. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? TB said, training women, ha ha ha. In this realm of existence, the liar is the norm, or what he identifies with. Why would she lie about her body count if she doesn't care about your opinion of her? Yup. I'm making it.
And if you really like the guy, delete your Instagram. Delete your Instagram. Stay off your phone. Go over to his house a lot. Be around him a lot. If you have any lingering exes, block all their numbers. You know what Devin did? What Devin did when I told her, all right, she was like, hey, look, I want to be with you, blah, blah, blah. I said, all right, well, this is the training process. She changed her phone number.
Oh, burn! She changed her phone number. I'm going to cut her off from everybody she knows. Yeah. I mean, the fact that Andrew Tate is being talked about in the S trafficking stuff, this sounds kind of like exactly the same thing, but on a smaller scale, but to a greater degree. Just saying.
She changed her phone. Yeah, she changed her phone number. She had an Android. Went to Apple, changed her phone number. So she cut off all communication with any and all exes, flings, whatever the case may be.
Almost sounds nice. I should change my number. I was thinking about this. I'm like,
that is probably a good idea.
Until they do this. How long do you think it would take her to figure out that, like, oh, yeah, I'll just give all of the guys my new number. And now that I've changed my number, there's no way that he's going to think I'm doing all of this. All this does is make people better liars. That's all he's doing, is making a better liar out of his wife. So she said, so he was a rebound guy. She had been disrespecting him since, and he thinks he was training her. Apparently. Sarah says, there's nothing wrong with posting risque photos online. If the other partner isn't comfortable with that, then that relationship isn't going to work. Just because you're with someone doesn't mean you can't express yourself and look good in your own skin. I agree with that. I agree, but you said there's nothing wrong with posting risque photos online. Why would you post a risque photo online? For what purpose? Why not just take the picture and keep it on your phone? If you're really just, hey, I was looking good and I want to, why does it need to be on Instagram? There is only one reason. So we'll come back to that. Yeah, right. She kept the old phone.
I was like, then I could just limit, because now, people come back, they start hitting me up for things, get on the channel, It's like, I have too many people that have my number anyway.
Well, listen.
I mean, that as far as content creation, that's facts, because everybody on Facebook, screw y'all. I got here without you. I got here with all of these guys in the chat. So shout out to all you, and screw everybody who knows me in real life. 2B's Artistry says he seems like, let me get hold on. I'm going to keep that up there. I forgot to get your link. And I want everybody to go check out 2B Artistry's channel. This is really cool. I mean, she just started, so not too much there, but really cool. So that is there. So 2B Artistry says he seems like the one to talk. Look at his bare fingers. He must be an excellent trainer. I mean, you're being facetious, but you are absolutely right. Just a Cog says, if someone can't handle people acting a certain way, go for someone who doesn't act like that, because, common sense. Yeah. So again, the question was, why would you be posting on Instagram, like risque photos? And Sam says, to help yourself look good and to show that to others. It feels good to get compliments from others, and it feels good to be comfortable with posting yourself loud and proud. Okay, so let's break that down. How does posting a picture that you've already taken make you look better? You already took the picture, so you were already looking good. So then you're focusing on the part. Why do you want to show it to others? You say it feels good to get compliments from others and feel good and be comfortable posting yourself loud and proud. Why is that a good thing? You've made the claim that it's not a bad thing, but why isn't it a bad thing? Would you want your, if you were in a situation where the tables are turned, and I don't know, I'm assuming from your perspective that you are a woman. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but would it work the other way around? Would it work the other way around? Would you be cool with your boyfriend, husband, paying this chick's rent, buying her a car, sending money for her kids that he didn't father? Probably not, right? Probably not. That's what this is to men. And Dr. Evil Genius has it on point. Risque photos on social media equals a 4-sign sale to the opposite sex. You cannot tell me that you are getting this type of, all these compliments and everything, and there's not an issue with the way that you are dealing with your man. If you need compliments from other men, then your man is not doing a good job. That's it. That's it. What else we got here? Talk to each other. All right.
Listen. We laugh and we chuckle, but let's just say, for the sake of argument, there was a guy that you were interested in, and maybe he was interested in you. If you were to change your phone number and you tell him why you did it, that would make an impression on him. Of that, I am certain.
What are you guys?
This is again. It's so superficial. Like I instead of showing you that I love you by spending time with you and making you dinner and making sure that your life is easier and doing this and that and whatever, you have to do these weird things. Like, what are you talking about, dude? What are you? It seems like you've never been in a real relationship, so it makes me question, especially because you lied about this Devin girl. What, are you really married? Are you just in it for, to claim that you've got some clout, and then everybody found out that she was old and a mother? I don't get it. I don't get it. So it says, if you're comfortable posting risque photos on social media with no added intent, you're comfortable walking around like that in a supermarket. I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. No Freedom says, women love attention. They love to steal a man's attention without commitment. They think that it's okay. Well, I mean, it's not okay, but it's certainly not honest. They think it is okay. They want attention. They want attention payment. Guys want payments. Rarely, but happens. I completely agree with No Freedoms. Okay. Yeah. Sam Froggy says, I am in fact a woman who does post risque photos online. I'd be comfortable with my partner posting. That's not the question. I'd be comfortable with my partner posting risque photos or giving money. Okay, that is the question. To people who don't post their bodies online. Well, wait. Whoa. All right, let's finish the comment. It's not really my concern what my partner does with their money or their body. It's their choice. Okay, so why would a man who's in a relationship be giving money to other women with whom he is not in a relationship with? Why would a man do that? Men don't even want to spend men don't even want to spend money on their own girlfriends. So for you to think that a man is just paying a girl's rent and that's the end of the story, that's not, I mean, they fucking. Yup. Just a Cog says, you can't steal a man's attention. Giving attention to something is 100% a choice. Okay. Don't pay attention to this. Just a cog in the fuckery. Just a cog in the fuckery. Pretty sure I just stole your attention and you could not ignore that. So, sorry.
You guys think in the back, if a girl came up to you and was like, I changed my number for you.
He wouldn't care. Give him a microphone. You have 1 million subscribers, Pearl. Give your producer a microphone.
Yeah, there you go.
Because as a girl, I would never think to change.
Yeah.
And then she doesn't even
I believe you.
And then she doesn't even repeat what he says.
I'm just like, I never would have even thought of that.
Yeah, that makes, and I didn't even think of that. Devin did that on her own.
Wow.
She texted me from another number. I was like, oh, okay, this one might actually have a chance. And the rest is history.
Were you playing the field before that?
Oh, yeah. I was, during the training process, there were two. Actually, so when we first met, I was messing around with 2 other girls. When Devin and I got a little more serious with the training, she was actually in competition with a girl almost half her age. I was dating
She out competed a girl half her age.
Why? I would love to understand why, because according to the red pill, younger is always better, right, Donovan?
Literally, she did. This girl was 20. So I met this. So this girl's name was Chrissy, and I dated her on and off since she was 19. This is funny. I met Chrissy 3 weeks after her post-op for her boob job, and this girl was a smoke show, hard 10, beautiful Mexican girl.
What she know?
Beautiful symmetry, beautiful ass. I mean, dude, like she was, perfect body.
Hold on, Justicog. Come on. Let's be honest here. I didn't ask you if you could stay. Obviously, you wouldn't hear me. You wouldn't hear me if you weren't on the stream. I'm asking you not to pay attention to what I'm saying right now. Justicog in the fuckery. I could easily leave the stream if I was bothered. It's a choice to stay. Is it a choice to stay? Of course it's a choice to stay. But is it a choice for you to ignore when I'm calling you out by name? Is it a choice for a man to see a woman who walks by, and sure, it's a choice to not stare and be creepy, but going way back to evolutionary biology, we have the functionality in our vision to notice things that are happening. So if a girl with a fat ass walks by me, I'm gonna notice. I'm not gonna stare and be a creep, but I do not have control over that. That is an instinctual thing. Before I even know what I'm looking at, I'm going to look. So no, attention, as other people are telling you, not even in a romantic or sexual or lustful context, people are telling you that they do not have control over their attention. This is certainly not an excuse to be creepy. That is not at all what I'm saying. But the fact is, it is not 100% a choice. We could do this all day. That's just not the same thing. So being called out by name is also different than that's okay. Of course it is. But you said attention was 100% a choice. I'm just going by what you said. I didn't say that scrolling for Insta chicks is not a choice. I never said anything like that. And that's not even relevant. Because I'm single. I can scroll through all the Insta chicks I want. It's the woman in the relationship who is doing that. And so whether I choose to look at it or not, the fact is, it is there for one purpose. It is only there to get my attention. That is all it is there for. So she is trying to pull my attention instead of the attention of her man. Now, is there other things that maybe that is justified in a specific context? Sure. We could make up, oh, well, he doesn't do this and he doesn't do that and he works too much. And doesn't. Sure, we could go down that road all day. The claim was giving attention to something is 100% a choice. And I'm sorry, but that is incorrect. That is just not how the human brain works. What is that word? I don't know what that means. A man has already seen a woman, her hips and breasts before he realizes the presence of that woman. Yeah. Like, I don't even know what I'm looking at before I am looking at it. And then I realize, I'm like, oh, okay. Checking it out, whatever. And then I move on. That's due to the evolutionary lizard brain. A nice ass is temporary, but gains are forever. There you go. So I'm not really seeing your photos on Instagram, but so I may not have a valid leg to stand on and add my opinion here. You are always welcome to add your opinion. Everybody is always welcome to add their opinion. That doesn't mean I'm going to agree with it, but you are always welcome to add it. The online photos you guys are talking about is termed a thirst trap. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about if you are in a relationship, it is not on the man to get over the fact that you are advertising your body on the internet. That is for you to, in the same way you don't want him to cheat on you. There's emotional cheating, right? There's other types of cheating than just, intercourse, right? You would be very unhappy if he was sexting with some girl, wouldn't you? How is that any different? How is that any different? Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I said something or someone can take your attention away, but your choice is to decide if you continue to focus your attention on that or move your attention elsewhere. That, I think, is much more accurate. Much more accurate. And I agree. There's creepy dudes who do this, that, and the other, but that's not what we're talking about. The fact is, y'all know those creepy dudes are out there. So, which brings us back to the original question. If you know that there's creepy dudes out there, and we're saying that you're in a relationship, why then do you need to get compliments from these creepos when you have a man that you respect and want to be in a relationship with them?
Knew how to stay in shape, but she was as dumb as a fucking tire. She was as dumb as a tire, and she could not cook. I actually thought that maybe I could teach her to cook, so I paid $350 for her to take cooking classes. And
I think this is great. I think this is a great rule of thumb. I mean, cheating is a strong word, but it's a good rule of thumb. Don't act in a way specifically to the opposite sex or whatever you're interested in. Don't. Let's just talk about heterosexual couples here because we're going to do all that. Don't act any way towards the opposite sex that if your significant other saw it, they wouldn't be happy with it.
It didn't help. Anyway, fast forward, and I meet Devin. I'd been dating Chrissy when I started dating Devin, and little by little, Devin began to separate herself. Like, she began to separate herself. And
oh, I'm so sorry, Dr. Evil Genius. I did not update the. Oh wait, who was it? Oh fuck. Hold on. I forgot to update the banner, so I'm gonna do that right now. I'll let this play.
And when she started sending me food, when I was she would send me food to where I was traveling. She would cook and send me food. I was like, okay, this is quite something. But the thing that won me over, one of the many things that Devin did that won me over the quickest, was she installed cameras in her apartment so that I could see, not that I ever checked and was spying on her, but she gave me access to her.
What just happened?
Her alarm system. She put a keylogger on her phone, and I was like, wow, this woman really is serious. She really was serious.
Is she though?
So ladies, if there's a guy you really like,
there's a guy like, I put cameras on my apartment.
Listen,
wow.
listen, we laugh and we chuckle, but if we know how women are, Pearl, we know how women are. If they're not, and I'm not telling you guys to require, well, if you're going to be with me, you need to have cameras in your house. No, but if you are.
What? I must have missed. Whatever. We're just going to keep going. But thank you again so much, A Different Shade of Purple, and everybody who has donated. But the sponsor of this stream at $10 is A Different Shade of Purple. Thank you.
Are a woman and you really want to show a guy that you really want to be with him, yeah, sometimes you need to go to those extremes because here's the thing.
I'm listening. I'm open.
Because here's the thing. The type of guy that you would like, he knows how women are. You understand what I mean? Like, and so to assuage any lingering doubt as to what you may or may not be up to, do as much as you possibly can to be as transparent as humanly possible.
So Dr. Evil Genius hitting the nail on the head here. Because he has a different situation than a lot of us have been in before or probably will ever be in, where he has 2 women in his house and he is open on his end. So he says, my ladies ask that I do not have relations with other women in our house. So I'd be disrespectful if I did smash another woman in their presence. But because that is something agreed upon, then doing it not in, you know what I mean. But that is a very interesting look at it. But yeah, I mean, it's very different for each situation, and you only learn about that by being part of the relationship, learning who these people are, all of that. I don't understand. Why the assumption is that there's some hack that everybody's missing and they've got all the answers. Like, what? This is not, like, what are we talking about? Yup. Sam says, I really don't believe she did that out of her own volition. From what I've seen about this bloke, I really doubt she chose to do that. Yeah, privacy is needed in any relationship. 100% agree. Shout out to all the donators. Yeah. I appreciate you guys. I could not continue to do this without you. I spent a dick ton of money hoping that you guys would come through for me, and already you are so much. So thank you again. You guys have no idea how much work goes into this stuff, and it makes it all worth it. So thank you again, and thank you, David, for letting them know. Jay Cliff said, "Yeah, this is a little weird. The food and meals is cool. I think that shows a lot of care from a significant other. But the cameras, that has some put the lotion on the skin, put the lotion in the basket." Yeah, I agreed. I need to I want to put that back a little bit. Thank you, Jay. All right. So Harley says, if you're that worried that the woman you're with is going to cheat on you, then maybe you should reflect on yourself and ask if you are ready for a relationship. Because that sounds like trust issues.
I promise you, he will tell you no one has ever done that for me before. And that's exactly what I told Devin.
So last time we talked about how it, like your red pilling story. So that's a long one. So I'm going to tell you guys, if you want to see.
Yeah, got the other video. Oh my God.
How Donovan got red pilled. Look at the last podcast I did with MTR. But so how long have you been making content for?
I've been
too long.
been on YouTube since 17.
Okay.
But I've been writing in the red pill since 14.
Like 17 years old, or 2017 and 2014?
14.
So I've been in the community for almost 10 years.
How have your views evolved since when you first started, and how has the community evolved since when you first started?
That is a very good question. So, wow, I have never been asked that before. Some of my views have changed, I suppose, a little bit. If anything, I'm more sure of what the red pill teaches now.
Okay.
Yikes. That is not a great answer. First, to not even be able to if you are on this journey, and not only on the journey for yourself, but you are somebody who is speaking to others, this journey should be very clear in your mind. And I don't remember exactly, how she was different, but that difference should be very clear in your mind, because it's something you're focusing on every day. If you ask me, what have I learned since I became the Indian Jesus? I would say that conversations are a lot harder for a lot of people than I understood. And I feel that it's my calling to come and do exactly what we're doing right now. I didn't know that question was going to be asked. I just pulled that out of my ass. And all he's saying is, oh, now I really know the red pill is right. So did you not know the red pill was right before? What are you like? Why should I trust you? You are not giving me anything that tells me that A, you are somebody who knows what they're talking about, or B, that you're trustworthy. Jay says she should ask him, how have your frauds changed over the years? Why would you ask her to get a DNA test if you do not trust her to be loyal to you? That because anybody can lie. Anybody can lie. And when the government allows you to basically live off of somebody, when this is the case, absolutely 100% DNA test 100% of the time. Sam Froggy says, most cheating comes from miscommunications and things. Whenever I'm going into a relationship, I make it abundantly clear that I'm more into a polyamorous relationship sort of thing. A lot of these sort of people expect their partners to think exactly how they think, and that just isn't the case. If both parties aren't comfortable with that, with what the other does, then they shouldn't have a relationship, especially not a romantic one. Well, I'm glad that you know where you stand on this stuff, and that makes it a lot easier for people like me who, we may be great friends, but if this is how you view romance, then that's not something I would particularly be interested in. And knowing that up front is something very important. So, whether you're for this or against that, for you to know that's where you stand, I applaud that. So it says, obviously not clear in his mind. He sure has signs of making up stories. Go looking from left to right and back, trying to screenplay your story. Exactly.
Than I was back then. There might be some surface level. There might be some surface level, operational, in terms of your day-to-day activities, how you run your relationship, et cetera, that I may or may not have changed because of my age and, and evolving and all that. But other than that, I'm doubling down.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how has the community evolved?
Oh
So
my
it
God.
started, because I understand it started in the forums.
Yeah. The red pill.
Like when did, let's go to the very beginning.
Yeah.
When did it start?
Yeah. So the red pill.
Dawn of time.
The red pill,
Actually, for viewers that don't know, what is the red pill?
Okay.
So, okay, as he's saying that, I'm very curious to see what his account is of all of this, because that is also going to tell us a lot about how he views the information that comes from the red pill space.
So the red pill is the reason why we call it the red pill. It's sort of an analogy. The movie The Matrix, Morpheus offers Neo the blue pill or the red pill. If you take the blue pill, you go back to dream world. If you take the red pill, it's the truth. It's ugly and it's uncomfortable, but it's the truth. Neo takes the red pill and he learns that, humans are grown and, copper top and all that good stuff. Well, that's really what the red pill community is. The red pill is the answer to feminism. The red pill really is the answer to the reason why relationships are so fucked up. That's really what it is. And when you talk to people who are not red pill aware, you know it immediately, right? Like anytime you're in a group of friends and you're talking about relationships, one idiot always says, well, the key to good relationships is communication. Everybody and their fucking grandmother says that. It's fucking bullshit. Communication is not key, but nonverbal communication is the communication that is what I'm talking about.
So nonverbal communication is the key, but not communication. What? Did he, am I stupid? Did he really just say that?
A group of friends and you're talking about relationships, one idiot always says, well, the key to good relationships is communication.
So that's wrong. He's saying that is wrong. That the key to a good relationship is communication. And then in the same breath,
everybody and their fucking grandmother says that. It's fucking bullshit. Communication is key, but nonverbal communication is the communication that is what I'm talking about.
So you agree with exactly what he said. What are we doing? Who is listening to this guy? Dr. Eugenia says 1/3 of men think their kid is theirs and they're dead wrong. The stakes are too high and the reality is too stark to just believe without proof. 100% agree. Sam says communication is key. His nonverbal communication sounds like him making his own decisions for his partner in his head. I would agree with that. I would agree.
But the red pill tells men the truth about women, sexual dynamics, and interpersonal dynamics between women and men. Mm-hmm. And it's not this hocus pocus feminist inspired, men and women are equal. No, it's a very traditional view, but it has to be updated to deal with modern women the way they are.
Can I have an example? Just for the people at home.
Oh, yeah. So for example, if you take a girl out on a date, way back in the day, we'll show up with flowers. No, don't do that. If you show up with flowers, a girl is going to think you're a simp. Also, if
you guys, let's make that a poll. Do flowers on a first date make you a simp? Everybody answer. I get offended. I'm like heartbroken when you guys don't answer.
If you're supposed to take a girl out on a first date, take her to a restaurant. Well, we certainly don't do that now, right? And the reason for that is because of the what do they call those foodie calls, right?
So what if he feels like this is a quality woman? What do you tell him? So if a guy
he feels like this is a quality
woman,
what
if he's observed that this is a quality woman?
What would he have to observe for her?
Shouldn't you know that? Shouldn't you know exactly what needs to be observed to see a quality woman? I thought that's what you do, sir. Apparently not. Harley says, because the only reason you ask for DNA is a DNA test when you doubt your partner's being loyal to you. There's nothing wrong with asking for a DNA test, but your statement didn't make sense. Who wasn't making sense? I know no freedoms ain't making no sense, but Dr. Vaginos is on point. So I don't know where you're talking. What do you mean? You don't get a poll at the top? That's weird. I thought that was everybody. But yeah, all women here are saying that, you know, they like flowers. I don't know. I'm getting 7 votes, 100% say no. And I mean, Dan, what do you think? Does it make you a simp to bring flowers or no?
Maybe he knows her family. Is that different? I'm just curious.
Wow.
So now she's asking about once you've observed that this is a quality woman, what do you do then?
So maybe it's a girl that he's known in the community. He's known her for a while. He knows she's
not a hoe, good family,
yeah,
everything.
Yeah.
That's a girl.
Hold up. Sammy, I don't disagree with this statement. But do you not think that it is wildly immoral to have another man's baby and lie to your husband that it is his child? Because in my mind, that's effed up. Beyond, I can't think of anything in a man's life that could be worse. Dr. Richard said you ask for information when the information is important. If you're looking at financing and raising a whole human being, it's important to make sure you know the child is yours. Yeah. Right. And so people lie about that. And so that's why we're saying that you need to get these tests. And it's way more common than you would think. Way more common. Dr. Virginius again, humans lie and women are humans. As evidenced by the high percentage of men unknowingly raising someone else's, another man's spawn. Exactly. I mean, it happens. I'm not saying it happens to everybody. I'm not saying it's something that you personally have to be worry about at the front of your mind. But you can just not have to worry about it at all by taking a DNA test.
That's a girl you take to dinner.
You could take it.
That's
I'm just curious if it's always or if there's ever
no. That's a good caveat. I've never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
And those girls are rare, but they are out there. So
Right.
yeah, if there's a girl that you've grown up with and you know her family, good family, strong father, good family values, and you know that she's not the town bicycle, yeah, take her. Because here's the thing. If you don't take her to dinner, then her dad is going to be feeling some type of way, right?
Yeah, but the whole idea is like it's a that's how I feel like the red pill is more of a response to the way women are.
Yeah.
So like a lot of people get mad when they say to spin plates, but it's like we like men that spin plates.
Yes, right. Women
don't
like men with experience.
Yeah.
And that's, again, where we have this this rift that a lot of the tenets that they talk about are not untrue. A lot of these tenets they make sense, and you don't hear them anywhere else. As a young man who doesn't have somebody who knows this stuff, you need to hear this stuff. But that's it. You just need to hear it, know it, move on.
Yeah, we don't like the men that treat us like princesses
Right,
in
of course
general,
not.
right?
You want to know why women don't like men who treat them? Actually, here, let me
Yeah.
correct that. Women don't like men who treat them like princesses for doing nothing but existing.
Okay.
That's why when you
Yeah.
take a girl out on an expensive date for the very first date, yeah, she'll say thank you, but she loses attraction for you because she didn't do anything to earn that $300 dinner date except for just show up.
Ladies, agreed or disagreed? What do we say? You lose respect for a man because he spent $300 on dinner? So she doesn't endorse. So she doesn't endorse it, but I understand why a lot of people sometimes lie about it. Okay, if that's what you believe, then that makes sense to get the DNA test. Because not only do you know that people do it, you understand why they do it. Sam goes on to say, it's very common for the partner to leave after that, and it's probably very scary to be a single mother. Well, maybe don't fuck other people then. Just saying. If you're in a relationship, be in a relationship. As you were saying this whole time, if you don't want to be in a relationship, just don't be in a relationship.
It is literally the same thing as a girl sleeping with a guy on the first date.
Mhm.
That's the way women.
I agree for each and every one of you, especially the women.
the way we view women who sleep with us on the first date, we're never going to commit to her. We'll fuck her for a while, but then when something else new comes along, we're out the door, because if she sleeps with me, how many other guys has she done it with, right?
Hey, we got Darshawn McAway in the building. What is good? What is good? Just did an awesome stream. Yesterday, the other day, always doing banger streams. Definitely go check out his channel. Please feel free to drop that link. Another awesome content creator. And we haven't really talked about this yet, but I'm hoping we can get people like Dr. Evil Genius and Darshawn and some other people to attend and come up and talk on the panel for the monetization party we are doing on Friday. That's right, Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm starting a little early, but we're going to go all night. So come through and welcome Darshawn. Hey, we also got Trace in the building. What is good? What is good? A day one sub. Never forget it. Thank you so much. Welcome to the party.
It's the same thing.
Oh, it's this one from Stitchless says, with the amount of births being done in hospitals and mistakes made in hospitals, DNA tests for both parents aren't a bad idea.
With women say, okay, he took me out on this nice date. I'm never going to take him seriously. I'm never going to have sex with him, but I'll keep him around for a while until a guy I actually want to have sex with comes along. It is literally the same thing. You are giving a woman something that she has not earned. And women know what they deserve. They know it's not this whole self-love type of deal, but especially
no freedoms, chill.
They know they're not worthy. No $500 dinner. Get out of here.
It's interesting because it's like you also hear from the manosphere, a woman that makes you wait is never worth the wait.
A hoe that makes you wait is never worth the wait. Yeah, that's here's the deal, man. As far as that
is a meaningless statement. That is a meaningless statement. A bad pizza is never worth the price. You're not giving anything to anybody. What are you doing? Yeah. Sam says he expects sex from a date just because he paid money for dinner. Very bad. Yeah. What else is he supposed to expect? I don't think that demanding sex is good, but if you take somebody out, then there's a clear intention of moving towards that. Is that wrong?
And I think that's something that Rollo
always
says.
I mean, I've heard different variations from it where they're like, yeah, if she doesn't sleep with you, kick her out and call another girl. I've heard that. And I'm like, it's just a little bit contradictory sometimes. This is what they'll say. I understand like where you guys are coming from because it's an adaptation to the hoes in the market.
That's exactly right.
Right. So I understand where they're coming from, but like a criticism I hear like of the red pill constantly is that it's like you're telling the men to sleep with all these girls, but the girls. While you're also complaining about the body counts.
Hey, guess what? Nobody's putting a gun to their head.
Yeah,
right.
I know.
We're not putting a gun. We're not putting a gun to these hoes' head. You know what I mean? Like, dude, girls.
That's such a cop out. Like you are pushing this message. If you're the one pushing the message, hey, go out and do all this, and then women are now seeing, hey, this is what men want. Then you can't sit there and blame them. Notice, I can't. I'm very glad that I'm able to see this now, because as somebody who desperately needed red pill information just a few years ago, to be able to now rise above it, I'm patting myself on the back. Dr. Vin just said, you really should never allow yourself to be a woman's 8th pick. You'll have to work very hard to get nothing you value in the end. That she won't make you her first choice to adhere to. Completely agree. That genuine burning desire. If just go with people that you like. Spend time with people that you like. Be nice to people that you like. And that's it. Thank you for stopping by, Stitchless. Really appreciate you. You have a good one, brother. Sam says a relationship is perfect. Nope. That's not what a relationship is perfectly fine staying as just a dating relationship and nothing more. But as I said before, intentions laid out before by both parties. If he expects sex, he should mention that. If she doesn't expect sex, she should mention that too. I agree with that.
Girls are
like get naked in front of Drake and be like, oh no, he
yeah,
used
right,
me.
exactly. Oh, yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I remember.
No freedoms. This is your second warning. Chill.
I had a good friend, and we used to say all the time, we tell girls, look, man, look. If you want to be in a relationship with me, you need to protect yourself from me. I'm going to try to fuck you because you're attractive, and that's just what men do.
That is a really, 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 really purposefully badly framing of that sentence. Why would you say that like that? The only people who that would appeal to is the type of people who are not getting laid at all, despite trying very hard. Oh, this fake posturing. Listen to it again.
We tell girls, look, man, look. If you want to be in a relationship with me, you need to protect yourself from me. I'm going to try to fuck you because you're attractive, and that's just what men do.
Oh, what an alpha! Whoa, so cool! I wish I could be you.
But if you want me to take you seriously, you need to resist that. You need to resist that for as long as you can. And the way I see it is this. So a girl goes to see a guy, right? He kicks her out because he didn't want to because she doesn't want to sleep with him. She's feeling some type of way. Well, isn't the purpose to be in a relationship?
Hey, we got Just Talk About It in the building. Yet another awesome content creator. Please do check out her channel. I'll drop the link in a second. Welcome to the party, Jess. So glad to have you. We are talking about just yet another red pill fraud.
So if you're mad that he kicked you out for not having sex, then you don't want to be with that guy anyway because you want the relationship, right? That's the same thing.
No, I agree. I was just like, that's just what I always hear from.
Yeah.
And this is why we don't have the utmost respect for Pearl. Because that was a perfect opportunity, as Jessica is saying, to push back against the type of shit that he's saying. I'm just like, yeah, I agree. I guess. Like, I don't know. Maybe like
yeah, it's almost like they like to say, well, you guys create the women you complain about. That may be true, but nobody's forcing anybody to do anything.
Yeah, I'm just a big believer everything in life is your own fault. If guys treat you like you're a hoe, like that's probably, you probably did something to indicate that.
Yes, absolutely.
Like,
they're called hotels. Hotels, tendencies.
that's kind of funny. Hey, with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that, Jess. That warms my heart. Thank you.
So tell me more about how the space has evolved over time. So
It hasn't.
Oh, it started with the forum.
No, it started before that.
Okay.
It started with the Neil Strauss book, The Game. And from The Game, then started the forums, the So Suave forum. After the forums, it sort of evolved into PUA, the pickup artist community. Mystery.
Just for the people that don't know the forum.
Does anybody remember the show? I couldn't tell you what the name of the show was. There was a show with this guy Mystery, and they all were talking about, I think it might have just been called The Pickup Artist. They were talking about how you gotta do, this, that, whatever, and you gotta neg a girl and all of that. Does anybody remember that? Am I just making that up?
So would you name which ones?
The only ones that I'm aware of are Royce and So Suave. That was the main one. There were other forums that were smaller, but So Suave, that's where Rolo cut his teeth. That's when people are like, oh, you should write a book. So from the forums, now people are taking the information from the forums and from the book, The Game by Neil Strauss, and they started applying it in real life. That's when we started getting videos, pickup techniques, et cetera. Then after that, then we started having blogs. This is Return of Kings, The Rational Male, Illimitable Man, other forums, other blogs. The evolution from there was YouTube. YouTube really put pickup game and the red pill. And I would say that right around the time the blog started coming out, that's when the term manosphere was starting to be the moniker. Nobody called the manosphere back in 2002, not even when the PUAs were out on the scene. But when blogs and stories and other articles started coming up, oh, that's the red pill, that's the manosphere, et cetera, et cetera. So
is there a difference between the red pill and the manosphere?
That's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's all
okay.
I don't. What do you guys think? What do you? Is the red pill and manosphere the same thing? I feel like there's like they refer to the same types of things because I kind of don't feel like they're completely interchangeable. Dr. Evil Genius says to know freedoms. You'll know by how many hoops of flames she'll attempt to make you hop through. If she's giving you instant choosing signals, you're a high pick. If she makes you spend your rent money, you lost. Good advice. Good advice.
Well, yeah. And so after the YouTube evolution, then came the self-improvement evolution.
Right.
A lot of guys were starting to grow up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've chased women, I've gotten all the pussy I can, but we wanted guys to be well-rounded because of course they were getting a bunch of backlash, just like you said, oh, you guys create the women you complain about.
Mm-hmm.
So now guys are talking about self-improvement. Get your body right, get your finances right, and women will make themselves available to you. From there,
that's a great message. There's nothing wrong with that. Be the best person you can be so that you can attract the best people that you want in your life. And as simple as that sounds, that really is something that isn't what's the word? It's just not instinctually readily apparent to a guy who thinks that, again, the Disney rom-com version of the world is not the blue-pilled world that you thought it was. You have to wake up.
There
Is this for me, Jess?
There was one more evolution, and that was relationships. A lot of the guys who were the pickup artists wrote for Return of Kings.
Mm-hmm.
We grew out of that stage, and we found ourselves in relationships, and that's where we are now.
Where does MGTOW fall in?
So MGTOW is one of a few factions.
Are they under the manosphere? Would you say?
Yeah, that's under that's
Okay.
that's under the
So
manosphere
there's
umbrella.
MGTOW, red pill.
Yeah, there's the red pill, MGTOW, black pill. There's
self-improvement.
There you go.
Tell them what black pill is.
So one of the stages of the red pill, when a guy finds the red pill, it's called the anger phase. When things start to make sense, when you read this stuff and you're like, oh my God, you start.
Can I have an example of something that would?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you read something and you think of let me think. So let's say somebody writes a story or an article about his experience with his girlfriend or something like that. And let's just say, I found out my girlfriend or my wife was cheating on me because she was working late and she told me X, Y, and Z, or she was going out for girls' nights out or going out for girls' Vegas trips or going on work trips. And I found out that she was having an affair with her boss, right? A guy will see that and he'll be like, you know what? So that's what my wife was doing when she was going to these conferences. That's what my wife was doing when she was going on these supposed girls trips. That's what my wife was doing when she said she was visiting family, right?
And just a cog on point. And we got a new person, Jess, in the Discord. Let's go. This is going to be a very exciting panel tonight. Thank you so much for joining. But yeah, just a cog, I agree with you so much. Like their whole thing, these red pill guys are about, oh, you got to vet, you got to vet, you got to vet. These women are this, that, and the other. You got to vet. But then they don't. And then they still blame it on the women. Like, I'm trying to be with you. I'm trying to be right there with you. I'm trying to follow you. But if you're full of shit, I can't do anything about that. Dr. Louis Genius says when you're dealing with imperfect when you're dealing with imperfect human beings, there are no guarantees.
So they get mad because they start thinking about all of their past relationships and the things that we talk about. They're like, oh my God. Not only that, they get upset because they feel that they've been lied to. And to be honest with you, I don't think.
How have they been lied to?
I don't think
facts, Harley.
They've been lied to. I think they were just given the wrong information. We say all the time, never take relationship advice from your mother. Never take relationship advice from women, guys. It's ridiculous.
I agree.
Don't take relationship.
That's what I told them on.
Tell me that you're a virgin without telling me you're a virgin.
The last pod I was just on, I'm like, how would I know how to vet a woman? Like, you guys, even the average guy has has vet more women than I have.
Of course,
like
absolutely, absolutely, man, yeah. So when your mother tells you, okay, I'll give my an example with my mother. My mother would give me all of the same information. You have to treat her well, cherish her, bring her flowers, blah 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 blah. My mother wasn't lying to me, right? But she wasn't giving me the right information. We weren't given the right tools to be successful with women. Back when I was married, I was calling my mom, why is my wife not fucking me? You have to cherish her. You have to make her feel special.
I'm definitely immature. I'm just not an angry black-pilled incel virgin.
That did nothing. It made it worse. And so guys get angry about that stuff. But the black pill is when guys stay in the anger stage, because after the anger stage, which most people go through, you learn acceptance and then adaptation, and then you start living the red pill life in congruency.
Do you feel like there's some valid criticism when they say that the red pill is filled with incels and angry men?
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's definitely valid. Yeah. That's definitely valid. Absolutely.
I guess your mom was on point then, Doshan, because my mom did not help me at all in this realm. Not at all. I mean, she definitely talked ish about all the girls that I was into after they broke up with me and broke my heart. But I don't think that's helped. So just a cog, this was something that I was like really like, what the hell? But her whole thing about wife school is that she wants to take the wife school. She wants people who are wives, mothers, etc., to come in and teach people like her how to be a wife. So when I first thought that, like, when she was saying her whole channel is about marriage advice from women, like you, I assumed that advice would be coming from Pearl. In which case, the hell do you know? But that is not the case. And Dr. Genius agrees with Dr. I cannot talk tonight. Dr. Evil Genius agrees with Just a Cog, saying the problem is when you're a man who has the self-respect to walk away, the government redistributes what you worked hard to attain. Unfortunately, very, very true.
Dude, when you see what's happening with Andrew Tate, all of the hashtag Me Too, false rape accusations. I mean, and going back to the MGTOWs, because that's the
and there goes my monetization.
Black pill is kind of a derivative of MGTOWs, but I used to be hard on those guys because they're like, no, I'm going my way. I'm not messing with women. I used to roast those guys, but the more time goes by, the more empathetic I am, and I'm like, hey, look, it's not what I would do, but I can't say I blame you guys for walking away from women.
I wish my mom or anybody else had told me this. That is all I've ever done, is fall like a ton of goddamn bricks. You smile at me and you're into one band I like or something, like, I'm gone. Not anymore. But that's exactly, that's what it was. Come on, bro. You're arguing against your own points. Mr. Cog says, and if men vet better or can commit without marriage, many problems wouldn't exist. Ring and paper doesn't make it a relationship. Agreed. Now, I can say that because I spent a lot of time talking about what women could do differently. And so I am not offended or defensive at the statement that men have things that they need to improve as well. If you do, you're probably a little beta bitch. Just says, maybe you should have asked your mom instead of waiting for her to tell you. That is a road I am not willing to go down, but that would not have worked. Dr. Williams says, but men are socialized to express that relationship in legal terms. Yep.
Why don't you blame them? Like what made?
So I missed what he was saying.
Or, dude, the more time goes by.
So he was saying they're talking about MGTOW. If you're not familiar, MGTOW, men going their own way. It's basically as opposed to being an incel, it's a vol-cell, voluntarily celibate.
The more empathetic I am, and I'm like, hey, look, it's not what I would do, but I can't say I blame you guys for walking away from women.
Why don't you blame them? Like what made your opinion change?
Just all of
false accusations.
Yeah, the false accusations. I don't know if you've ever heard of Emma Solkowitz, the mattress girl. She claimed that she was raped on her futon mattress in college.
I've heard of that story.
Exactly.
Roughly. Tell them for the people. So I know it like roughly. Sorry.
So the girl claims
just
she was
don't
raped
say
on her mattress, but they recovered text messages of her texting and it was a one-night stand, and the guy curbed her after that. She felt some type of way, and she said she was raped. It was found out that, and she wanted him expelled. It was found out that that it wasn't really rape and he wasn't charged. But
I'm
in
not
order to make
getting-
a stand, she carried her futon mattress around campus until he was expelled. That was her senior thesis. That kind of stuff happened. Then the Jackie Coakley stuff happened at the
That was his
University of
life.
West Virginia. That was nothing but bullshit. Then athletes and rappers started getting accusations, and they're all being shot down time after time after time. Then the hashtag Me Too movement happened right after that. And so that's really what's making men walk away. It's like
I don't disagree with anything that he just said. I don't disagree with anything that he just said. So my parents were never born or lived in India. My mom's family is mostly Chinese, but both my parents were born and raised in the West Indies, in Jamaica or in Trinidad and Tobago. They got married in England, and I and my siblings were all born in America. So hell no, I'm not doing no arranged marriage. But maybe that would have been better. But no. Jessica says marriage is really more about ownership. Always has been. You're essentially registering a relationship like you would a car. It is social programming. Yep. 1 week. That's it. And they're taking me down. So if you like the show, let me know. With money. Harley says Western society has destroyed a lot of things. We have done great things, but they got so overshadowed by all the corruption and separation. I completely agree. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, well, it's not his platform, so he's like, who cares?
Like, dude, if you even mess with women, you're not only like you're risking your life, you're risking your freedom. And guys are not trying to go to jail for trying to holler at a bitch.
Why do you think that's so common?
What do I think? What's so common?
Like false accusations.
Because there's no
Yes, he took the words right out of my mouth. Because there are no repercussions.
repercussions for false accusers. That's why this is why women continue to make false accusations, because they're not being punished for making false accusations. Andrew Tate, I was on Fresh and Fit, and Myron found video of the girls who claimed that they were raped by Andrew Tate after the time that they said that he was raped, dancing and twerking.
What?
Yes, you gotta watch that. Like, dude,
That's not really like these dudes simp for their own ideology. Like, I am not cheering or hoping or anything about Andrew Tate getting anything. But the fact is, just because there's a video doesn't mean that's the end of the story. Now, I think that is evidence towards the fact that he wasn't doing as untoward things as people say. But that's all that it means. That's it. That's it. Hey, Andy Film with the coffee money. Thank you so much, brother. Really do appreciate that. Thank you.
Dispelled all of that bit by bit by bit. It's all a hit job. This is Andrew Tate, top G.
Right.
This guy doesn't have to rape anybody. He's got girls lined up around the block trying to get into his mansion. There is no reason for him to forcibly have sex with another woman when women want to do it already. Anytime a woman,
I can't believe I just heard that. I have to find something. I want you to listen to this line again and stick with me. We're gonna find something. Listen to, and again, I am not on anybody's side when it comes to Andrew Tate. I am on the side of people treating people properly. There are a lot of things that Andrew Tate says that I agree with. Outside of that is where it ends. But I want you to hear what he just said, and I'm going to show you something that I found that was posted by Jesse on Fire today. Maybe it was yesterday, but I saw it today.
This guy doesn't have to rape anybody.
He doesn't have to RP anybody.
He's got girls lined up around the block trying to get into his mansion. There is no reason for him to forcibly have sex with another woman when women want to do it already.
Okay, so I want you to keep that in mind as I pull up this video.
All right, let's do this.
And allegations.
So this is shout out to Jesse on Fire. This is a video stream that he did, I think yesterday or 2 days ago about Mike Tyson in an old documentary. And it's weird. It's weird that we just heard Andrew Tate doesn't need to do this, that, and the other. Okay. Let's see what Mike Tyson has to say.
So I was staying at Cut's house. You know, I come from a really.
By the way, this is John Bravo. John Bravo Films is whose channel this is.
Poverty-stricken area, and when I came to live with Cuz, they live in a 14-room Victorian mansion. And I first come here, I said, "Wow, I could rob these white guys, these white motherfuckers being hip." Not thinking, I'm not knowing this guy been around the world a bunch of times. I never knew he was like me. He was from a bad neighborhood. He was a street kid like me.
The same much I trust him, I guess he trusts me, and he trusts me a lot. So, but no one really knows Mike Tyson. Nobody's really friendly with Mike Tyson.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
Right.
Wait. Okay.
He said he didn't do it.
All right, here we go.
You guys like this stream real quick?
I mean, I'm a jerk sometimes, and I say things that sometimes crass and coarse, but I would.
Bro. Okay.
Never do nothing to that extent. And whatever I
Jack,
did, I may have
he's
took
about
advantage
to
of
admit
women
it in a
before, but I
second.
never took advantage of her. I don't know what to say about that situation. Just basically took the whole life out of me in that situation. I never again.
All right. When you see him in bed, that is the.
Listen.
So
Okay.
he's
all right.
Okay, so listen, real quick, going into this part, what he's talking about is he's talking about the grape allegation that he had from Desiree Washington. That's the one that he got convicted of and did time for.
So we're talking about Mike Tyson.
He has always said that he did not do that one. He said.
So again, we're talking about Mike Tyson. He was charged and sentenced for paying a girl, and has always said that he didn't do it.
He didn't do it, and he's never wavered from that at all. Now, just as context,
Any female ever, myself. The least thing, again, listen, no knock to any female ever. And I hope that I'm saying that I can actually say this because I'm going to say it. Mike Tyson don't need to violate any woman at any point, any time. Literally.
But dig, right?
I would speak to that. You don't have to say it. I'll speak to that.
Oh, I know, but I want you to know this. I'm not above violating a woman, right? But I didn't violate that woman.
I'm not above, Mike Tyson says, violating a woman. I just didn't violate that woman.
That's just keeping it real.
Just keeping it real.
Keeping it real. Especially back then. Back then, I wasn't above violating, taking no stuff.
Especially back then. We all know Mike Tyson is a completely different person than he was in his fighting days. Especially back then. I wasn't above violating women or taking what he says is vaginalness. And what did the guy say right before that?
That's just right. I didn't know this.
Mike Tyson don't need to violate any woman at any point, any time.
And then we go right back.
Reason for him to forcibly have sex with another woman when women want to do it already. Anytime a woman accuses a rapper or an athlete or a public figure of rape, it really, I'm not going to say that none of them are true because there's the Darren Sharper situation. That was really bad. There was Kellen Winslow, et cetera, but a lot of these, like a good amount of these are false. So you mean to tell, and it's funny.
And I don't disagree with the fact that a lot of them are false. The problem is that is not a good argument against the fact that somebody did a thing is that I don't have to get it. That is not a good argument. That is a very, very bad argument. All right, let's see where we left off with some of these. So yes, we got that one. Everyone knows when girls are throwing themselves at you, they are easy and it's not fun. Speak for yourself. There are some girls that are definitely fun. Dr. Virginia says, well, when you're beaming up to leave this godforsaken planet, take me with you, freedoms. Just don't eat me. Good one. You guys are all talking to yourself. All right, I'm going to look through these. If there's any more, then I'll pull them up.
The story is all the same. We say, well, why didn't you go to the cops? Well, because I was ashamed. Oh, wait. So let me get this straight. You didn't want to go to the cops, but you're comfortable with sharing your harrowing story with your 27,000 Twitter followers? Get out of here.
Yes, because I cannot believe I'm about to say this sentence, but speaking your truth is not the same thing as going to court. I can completely understand if that happened to me, why I wouldn't want to go through court.
I agree. That was the one thing that red pilled me doing the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I just generally thought when women like.
Great point, Jess. Great point. All of those guys were famous, way more famous than Andrew Tate.
Said things like that serious, that it was true.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And the more and more girls that I had on the show, that they would say these stories.
I was abused. Then you start asking.
Take 5 minutes, bro. It's very clear. Attack ideas, not people. I gave you 3 warnings.
I would immediately believe them. But then a comment said, ask them, did they go to the police every time they bring that up? And I was thinking, good question. And I was just shocked by how many women said no.
That's right.
And I was just thinking, wow, like you guys are comfortable enough to go on my podcast and talk about it.
There you go.
But you're not comfortable enough to talk about or to go to the police.
Yeah.
The second thing that I didn't understand was
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with the fact that is how people like be an adult. Something bad happened to you and you want something done about it, then you have to go to the police and talk about it. But if you don't want to go through it and you're like, hey, this happened to me and I just want to move on with my life, you're free to do that. But I can't be held accountable for what I don't know about, what nobody knows about.
That I didn't realize was abusive relationships. How women will say they were abusive.
Yeah.
But they don't talk about that they were hitting him.
Right.
And often instigated. And like they'll say, oh, there was bruises on my arms.
Yep.
But like sometimes people in the comments would just say stuff and they'd be like, well, ask her, was he holding her down?
There you go.
And I was just thinking, wow, like
good question.
These are good questions. Yeah. And it's like kind of awkward. Like you don't want to question someone on this stuff, but what I noticed is that people that actually happened to have no problem answering questions.
Right. And here's another, they have no problem answering questions, but they're not going to do it on camera.
Are they still going down this line of, well, why didn't you talk about it? As Jess said, going to the police is hard. I mean, this comes from somebody who is yeah, exactly. Where is it? I'm waiting for it to come up. I don't know about the chat. Well, I haven't read anything in the chat here. It sounds like everybody is saying that we're with you. So I don't know who's victim blaming. But it sounds like these two are victim blaming.
Because if they really were raped or abused, they don't dude, if a woman truly is raped.
Dude, stop saying the word.
Have you ever watched a woman on the stand testifying against her attacker?
Yes.
Dude, they break down, man. They break down. She doesn't want to relive it. She doesn't want to face him again. Yet, here you are on a podcast. Well, he raped me. He abused me.
Guys, this is so demonetized.
And again, just like you said, you usually take girls at face value, but the fact that we don't want to question them because, we find it offensive, women know this. And
so Sam says there's false positives and false negatives. Just because false accusations happen doesn't mean they should be punished. So you think it's okay for somebody to just go and throw SA, RPay, yeah, exactly. You think it's okay to just throw false accusations out there when you know they're false? When you know what that does to somebody? That's crazy. That's crazy. Please tell me I'm misunderstanding that statement. Let's finish. Just because there's false accusations happen doesn't mean they should be punished. Absolutely, they should be punished. It's harder to go to the police in a lot of situations because the police tend to be old men, and a lot of time it's not taken seriously there. Yeah, I agree with that. But no. To say that a false accusation of RPay should not be punished is a wild take. That is wild. But apparently America agrees with you because that's how it is. That's crazy. That's crazy. Remind me never, ever, 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 ever to give anything in the realm that could be considered lust, romance, sexuality to Sam Froggies. Because she has no issue destroying my life because she feels like it, or what? Because you brought up false positive, false negatives, but that doesn't apply to Arpe. You either were or you were not. And so if the situation is, I don't know, this was a weird situation, and I'm telling you the situation, it was weird and it's not that black and white. I'm not accusing anything. I'm just saying this is what happened. I maybe can see what you're saying. But that's crazy, Sam. I got to be honest with you. That is crazy. She goes on to say, I don't think it's okay for false accusations. Okay. I just don't think it should be punished when real cases get classed as false accusations. Why does it matter what other cases are classed as? If something is wrong, if somebody does something wrong, should they be punished? If you don't think false accusations are okay, and somebody does something that's not okay, particularly in the eyes of the law, do you believe the law should respond appropriately? Or do you think that because, there's a bunch of black people in jail, if a black person goes and murders somebody, we shouldn't, there's too many innocent black people in jail. So we just let black people murder. That's the argument that you're making, Sam. I don't know if you realize it, but that is exactly what you're saying. Did I see you before, Tyler? I don't know if I saw you before, but if not, here's a second welcome. Welcome to the party, brother. It says if a false accusation is proven to be contrived, they should spend the same amount of years in prison as the accusation they were claiming. 100%. And exactly. A bunch of men who were violated didn't go to the police either. It's not an easy thing. I think we all agree on that. But nobody's saying it's easy. That's not the point of it, to be easy. It's not easy to I mean, let's say let's say one of your family members was murdered. Do you think it's easy to go through a murder trial? Of course it's not easy. That's not what this is about, though. It's about justice. I've been through situations before, but my first thought wasn't I should post it online for everybody else to see. It's extremely humiliating and traumatic. Sure, agree with that. Just Cox says many times real reports either don't go anywhere or open a person up for character assassination. True. I've seen men spread rumors same as women do. When men are essayed, no one takes them seriously either. 100% agree there. Just as I think they are saying there are true crimes that got classified as false allegations, then they are afraid that true victims might get jailed because it's hard to prove. That still doesn't address the fact that if we know that that either case, if we know that somebody are paid, we would want that person to go to jail. If we know somebody lied about being paid, they equally should go to jail. I don't understand how that is not what we all agree on.
And that's why when you ask them questions about it, that leads them to believe that maybe you don't believe what they're saying. That's when they, oh my God, I can't believe it. You don't believe what I'm saying. This happened to me. All you have to do is ask. All you have to do is just ask questions and just continue to ask questions. And eventually, and it does not take you long to come to the conclusion that they're just lying.
Yeah. And that was one thing about Kevin Samuels. He was so good.
He was
so good.
Okay, great. If false accusations get punished, then so will real cases. Good. That is what we want. We want false accusations and actual RPAs and SAs to be punished. We don't have a robust enough system for determining when cases are real. Okay, fair criticism. There's also cases where with the trauma of the court or the police, people who did actually experience real cases can be basically forced to say that it didn't happen. It's a very traumatic time, and there's no real way to know for sure, like in 99% of cases. I'm going to need to see a stat on 99%. You're saying 99% of RPA cases cannot be proven? I'm sure there is a high number, but 99? That seems high. I would love to, and I agree, it is a hard thing to prove, but 99 seems like a very high number.
I just saw a clip of him the other day where he figured out that a girl was lying about a proposal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how did he figure that out? Like, he was like,
ask questions.
He was like, well, what were you eating? What was that? And
there you go.
And I'm just like, I would have just been like, yeah, okay, nice.
Get a lawyer. Do not talk to the police under any circumstances without a lawyer.
Proposal.
Yeah, I mean, I think, well, here's the reason why he knew she was lying, because he was the restaurant owner. She says, well, a restaurant owner proposed to me, right? And the girl, I got to find the video, but the woman had a smoke detector in the background. Basically, she was a
single
ratchet,
girl tell.
right? And if you're a ratchet,
ladies, I'm giving you life advice. If your smoke detector is beeping, that is bad. If your smoke detector is beeping and you don't even notice it, that is horrible.
Restaurant owners aren't proposing to you, so he knew that was cap off from the start, and he didn't accuse her of lying. All he did was ask questions. And remember, when she tried to give all this background information, Kevin, no, just skip all that. Give me the details. What did you eat? Blah 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 blah. And guess what? She ended up hanging up the phone because she knew she was caught.
So Sam was saying, being 99% is hyperbole. Fair enough. And I do agree with you. It is a high number. That does not negate that if you are caught doing something wrong, we're not take it away from this type of crime. If you are doing something wrong and are caught to be doing that, you deserve to be punished. That is what we call law and order. That is what we call justice, and that is how our society stays, because civilized it is, as much as it's going down the flusher. And yes, that is exactly why we are pointing this out, because way too many young men follow this guy. Follow me instead. I promise you, I'm more fun, and I won't lie to you about this bullshit.
Do you think that the dating market is getting worse or better?
Yeah, it's getting worse.
I think so too.
It is.
And I don't say that in like I'm happy.
No.
And I have the whole, people are like, do you think the wife school will work? And I'm like, well, for a couple people.
It couldn't hurt.
That's a good way to look at it. It will work for a couple people.
Yeah, but I'm like, do I think that...
All right, I'm going to speed this up a little bit because, he's kind of boring. So...
yeah, by and large, we're going to have less women on OnlyFans? Hell no.
No, we're not.
We can hope. I could sell you a dream.
Yeah.
But I'm like, do I see it getting better by and large?
I think eventually, everything is cyclical, right?
Right.
The world goes, right now it's a little warm, right? There was also an ice age at one point in time.
Right.
Things were, I'll use the presidential cycle as sort of an analogy for this. Jimmy Carter was he was a great man, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody remembers him for the gas lines, right? So they corrected to Ronald Reagan. Okay, Ronald Reagan was extremely conservative. Then his vice president, George H.W. Bush, was then elected. So now we've got 12 years of Republicans in office. Then Bill Clinton came along. That was a bit of an overcorrection. Bill Clinton was in office for 8 years. Then they corrected even more to George W. Bush. Had him for 8 years. Then we way overcorrected to Barack Obama. Had him in office.
Make your point, bro. I don't need a history lesson. I remember the presidents.
For 8 years. Then we ran it off the road with Donald Trump. You understand what I mean? And I support Trump, by the way. I'm team Trump. But to understand how it's all cyclical, well, it's the same thing with the dating market. I think at some point it is going, conservative values, conventional masculinity, traditional femininity is going to come back. I just don't think it's going to happen I don't think it's going to happen in my lifetime. I know that sounds cynical, but just like you said, man, can you really see 10 years from now there being less girls on OnlyFans? No.
I'm like, we could sell a dream, but it's like, I'm just being real.
Well, here's the thing, man. This is why I do what I do, is just to help guys maybe have a fighter's chance and maybe trying to have a relationship with a woman that you honestly love and can possibly trust. But if I'm being honest, if my brother said, Donovan, what's the best thing for me to do if I want a wife and kids? I would be like, dude, you got to go overseas and stay there. You cannot have a wife and children in the West. Can't.
That is, how many people do you really think want to or even can just move overseas? What? How is that reasonable advice? Can some people do that? Do people want to do that? Sure. But exactly, Darshan, he is just talking BS. So here's what I'm gonna do. We don't have any. I don't think we have any trolls here. And I think No Freedom's timeout is over, but it seems like he's left. So I'm going to drop the link. We're not gonna stay on here long. But I feel like since a lot of you know Donovan better than I do, and a lot of you are very well versed in this space. If you'd like to come up, please, and and talk about this, please do. Justin Cog says 100% worse than what? Okay. People become too. The dating market. People become too shallow, too entitled. Don't know how to communicate. Demand all the things from everyone for simply existing. People are all take and no give. Could not agree anymore. What's wrong with girls on OnlyFans? How many women who are currently doing OnlyFans do you think will be in a good both financial and relationship position in 15 years? Just a random guess. Let's say a percentage. What percentage of women who post on OnlyFans are going to be in a good position? So that's one question. Then let's ask, of the women who are on OnlyFans, are they getting the amount of money that if we had to put a dollars amount on it, that their innocence and privates, literally what it should belong to somebody that you that you love, that you're in a relationship, whatever. As far as men see it, how many of those women are making that much money? Because I'll tell you, I get a lot of texts and Snapchats and shit from people who don't really seem like they're doing that well. If you have to be on Snapchat and Instagram and all of this stuff all day, DMing dudes and trying to good one, Devon and Rod. I mean, I think that's even still, that's an insult to Kevin Samuels. Exactly. Not even Wish. Yeah, not even the Wish Kevin Samuels. Exactly. But what was I saying? Oh yeah. I just like OnlyFans is not good for society. It is a short-term fix for women who don't have other options. If you had other options, you would explore those options. But now we've created a space where women who have no value other than their body are selling that value away. Not to a man who is, or a woman or whatever, not to a person who's going to value it as as much as they do. All that's going to happen is a bunch of dudes who don't give an F about you are going to get past a threshold that biologically is not meant for those men. That is not, I mean, hey, I agree with you. I've never spent a goddamn dollar on porn in my life. That is stupid. Pornhub exists. So, I mean, I don't know who these dudes are. But I'm with Jess. Stop funding OnlyFans. It is not making the world better. Obviously, there are good women out there, but they are very hard to find. They keep to themselves. Most don't have social media. So trying to find them in modern society is hard. Completely agree. And that's the hard part, is that like as a dude trying to find these women, it's like, Bradu. Because the irony is OnlyFans wouldn't have gotten so big if men weren't willing to be part of the money for it. Yeah. They're willing to part with their money. I completely agree. And that's why I'm not saying that it makes you an evil person and it's fine for guys to, I think everybody involved in OnlyFans is not helping our society. Is that fair? Byron Rod says, just look at the late boomer and early Gen X women who forego families. They're reporting miserable lives. Yes, the most unhappy demographic of women is, I believe it's 40 plus single women. And that's why Red Pill exists and MGTOW exists. Hey, we got Salty Plays in the building. What is good? What is good? Glad you made it too, brother. Glad you made it too.
Can't have it here, can't have it in England, can't have it in Australia. You got to go overseas, man.
What? So you were one of the first content creators to bring women in the space.
Yeah.
How are you happy that you did?
Absolutely, 100%.
And tell me why.
Well, because.
And what were your major concerns about bringing women into the space?
Yeah, So my concerns about bringing women into the space before is it was almost like intent. Okay, is this woman creating content just for attention on herself? Because throughout the Red Pill journey, we've had women sniffing around here and there. They'll follow us on Twitter. They'll make Twitter posts. They'll call into shows, but women didn't really start, creating content until just recently. But the reason I did it is because I thought it was necessary. I think that women have access to certain people's eyeballs and ears that men don't.
I think that's actually an interesting point. An interesting point. I do think, and I saw a video the other day about how I completely forgot what I was going to say. So Sam says, I mean, it's just a way to make money. So is prostitution. If you had a son, would you want him dating a prostitute? I don't see the prawn industry getting this much flack. I mean, you're right, but there is an acceptance that once you do prawn, once you are on Pornhub, you are now a porn star. That is not how OnlyFans people are being treated. It's just like I'm a normal, a traditional girl, but also on the side, I post risque photos here, there, and everywhere. It's like, nah, you're not. That's not what it is. The industry doesn't value women at all. Excuse me. Women way out earn men in that industry. And I mean, yes, the videos make it seem like women are being treated like dirt because that is fantasy of a lot of men, but they're getting paid for it. And so that brings me back to my original question, is that yes, you have all the freedom to do whatever you want with your life, your body, etc. The question was, are these women getting the money that is equal to the value they are giving? On Pornhub, it's probably a lot better than on OnlyFans. That's why there is an industry, and OnlyFans is just an app. I'd rather have OnlyFans than the rest of the prawn industry because at least the mods tend to have more control of their image and what they post. I mean, okay, that is I guess that's a point. Like, I don't disagree with that. But I don't feel like that's enough to overcome the damage it's doing, the way that it's changing our societal thoughts. Just as to shut down OnlyFans, we need to put men on allowance. They have too much expendable income. It's not the men who have well, actually, I don't really know. I don't know. I think you might be right on that one. Divine Run said, moreover, sim culture has given a rise to the 49ers. Force that think there's. Oh, yes. The 49ers. Have not heard that one. To be, he says, who are the only fans? What do you mean? The ones on them? I don't know what that means. Okay. So we are going to start out bringing. I should have said everybody's got a cam up, but I didn't. So, new people, you got a cam up. So I'm just going to keep this thing and we are going to bring up Harley Rose. Welcome to the show.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
What did you think about all this?
I thought it was interesting. I don't know that much about him. Like, I've kind of seen him here or there, especially because I've been my way around through like like, you know, the manosphere space and all that. So I've heard like people mention him or bring him up, but yeah, I think my thing was about the whole going overseas.
Mhm.
And one good point that I heard brought up was the fact that if you go overseas to look for women, the question is, what do you, as a foreign man coming over there, have that you can compete with the men that are already there? Like, what do you have that could compete against
Money.
them?
American money is very strong in places like the Philippines, Brazil, all the places that the passport bros go. It's because the American money, goes a lot further there. So a guy who wouldn't necessarily be able to take out a girl to on a fancy dinner in America can do so in Brazil or whatever else. Now, I'm not trying to go out there, but that answers that is the answer that they would give.
What, I mean, I guess, but isn't the also like some of the complaints is that the guys like don't want to, some of them don't want to spend their money on women?
Right.
So
That's
why
why they
wouldn't
want to
you
spend less
spend the
money.
money here?
Because you have to spend more. Again, if you're, let's say in America, it's, a nice dinner, not something crazy, but a nice dinner. You're probably spending at least $200. A couple glasses of wine, a steak, whatever. Talking about, let's call it $200. You can get that same meal in Brazil for like $20, in the Philippines for like $5. That's why.
I guess.
And we got a shout out to you from Jess. Anything else you want to add to the tell the people?
I'm like trying to think off of the top of my head.
Yeah, you don't have to. As soon as it's over, we're heading over to Discord to have a much less structured conversation. So I very much appreciate you coming up and giving your opinion. If that's all, do you want to shout out your social media or if you have a YouTube channel or anything like that?
I mean, I don't have any social media besides I come on YouTube to watch people, and then I have Discord, but that's like it. That's all I have. I don't have anything else.
Perfect. All right. So I guess we will see you over in Discord shortly then. Thank you so much for coming up. All right. Next up, we got the sponsor of the stream, A Different Shade of Purple. What is going on, brother? Thank you so much for sponsoring this stream.
Next time I try to give more to be a better sponsor. How about that?
Yeah, you ain't getting any arguments from me, bro. What'd you think about all this?
Well, I mean, I'm not sure that I said this before on your platform, because I've said it so many times.
Mm-hmm.
What gives men like Sharpe, an opportunity, is that there's so many guys who do not know how to be men for themselves.
Right.
We just don't know how to be men for ourselves. And that goes from men who are just starting out, who are 18, 19, 20 years old, on up to men like me who are, in our 40s. There's a lot of us guys who are dealing with things that we don't know how to handle.
Yeah,
that
man.
we are still learning how to deal with.
100%. Like I talk about all the time. I was like 29, 30 before I went out with that girl, and then she broke up with me, and that's when I found the red pill. So it's young men all the way up. It's just information that it's not readily available.
Yeah, it really isn't. And I'm going to tell you, we are learning things about how to deal with, especially women, because one of the things that I constantly say, and I think this would be a better definition as a much, how I would say, sane version of the red pill, a much more
reasonable version
of the red pill. It is men learning that women are not the fairer sex. They're just as vain. They're just as hypocritical. They're just as egotistical as men are. and men are beginning to learn that. Where the issues where men like me are having issues is that we're beginning to see that when you're caught in the wrong, that you're not held to the same standard of accountability
Right.
that men are. And that's the reason why I say that women really do not want equality. They want privilege. They want quote unquote she quality. And so,
I like that. She quality. I like that.
Where did I get that term from? I forget the name of the channel. I'm going to try to remember to shout it out next time. I don't have such a good brain right now. But but yeah, that's what this all boils down to. We have to learn how to be men for ourselves, and that is the reason why, like I'm a big proponent of therapy. I'm in therapy, right? I'm trying to do the work in order to make myself better. But the one thing that I tell men, make sure that therapist is actually focusing on you. If you go and you listen to, say, Unusually Bree, like I don't know if you heard of her on TikTok.
Not familiar.
She basically got fired because of her language and the way that she was acting, on TikTok. But she was talking about most of her clientele were men. And whenever you listen to her and you listen to other women, especially talk about men, and they talk about therapy, they always talk about what they could be for somebody else. I have said this so many times before. Everybody can sit here and tell you what type of man you need to be for everybody else, but never for yourself. And when we start to learn to put our 10 toes down, and we start saying, look, I'm not going to stand for this. I'm not going to put up with this, that, and the third. I don't care what you think about me. Then that very act alone will begin to start to change the society that we live in as well. We can't continue to sit here and ask for permission for people to understand us. We have to start putting 10 toes down and saying that we are not going to put up with this. That's where change begins to go, begins to happen. So that's what men really need to learn to start doing. Start learning to find their own voice. Start not apologizing for what it is that they want, even if it seems ridiculous to everybody else. It's what we want, right?
And this is the fact that I agree 100% with what you say. And these guys like Donovan Sharpe, like Fresh and Fit, are trying to act like that's the message they are pushing, when maybe that's what they're trying to push. But like Trey was talking about earlier, where it's like, all right, well, the views come when we just dunk on women, so let's just do that.
Yeah, and you want to know something? That's not necessarily the answer. I understand where it comes from. Now, let's be clear. I know where it comes from, because the fact, when you listen to women actually talk about disregarding men about false allegations, am I able to say that? I'm trying to respect your stream. When you listen to women actually, disregard men about false allegations, actually celebrate. Listen to me. Celebrate the fact that they're able to separate their children away from their father. And there was a stream where I was listening to the Leader Turner, where they were showing that there was a woman who was divorcing her husband, lying about what her ex-husband was doing, kept her husband away from her child, and yet he was still punished for it. Nothing happened to her.
And I think what the stories like that are important, because it's definitely important for men to understand that that's a possibility. But also, like, I would never think that just a Cog or Harley or Bisky or any Sam, none of you, I would never expect that you specifically would do that. Especially because you can't even fathom why the fact is that just makes you a good person, better than most, at least in the men in this space, our collective experience. You guys, you women are not that are here are not typical. You are above a cut above the rest. So I don't want you guys to take this stuff as if we're talking about you. We're talking about the fact that just like there are men out there who will RPay you, there are men out there who will be narcissistic, who will beat you, who will do all of those things.
Yes,
you
they
need
most
to watch
certainly
out
will.
for those things. And I would applaud you being aware of those things and being careful to not put yourself in those situations.
Exactly.
All we are saying is that men need to do the same. That's it. I think that's a fantastic point. Anything else to share with the people?
That's just it. But hey, thank you for your stream, man. You are bringing back common sense.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. And thank you again for your donation. Any social medias or anything to shout out?
Hey, check me out on TikTok. I'm changing up my platform, steadily. And other stuff will be coming soon.
Beautiful. Same name on TikTok.
A different shade of purple. That's right. But I'll go by Big Dewey J. But I call myself
Dewey J. All right. Thank you so much for coming up, dropping knowledge, and of course, thank you again so much for the super chat.
I'll give more next time.
Yeah, hope that's plenty, brother. I really appreciate it. What I would really love is for you to join that Discord so we can all keep this conversation going without having the YouTube overlords watching us. But maybe one day. Thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate it.
Thank you more.
Have a good one. All right, so we got our last friend here. Salty Plays in the building. What is good, brother? Actually, if you don't mind, let's go through some of these comments real quick. I think we left off here. Harley, completely agree with you there. Again, what I was saying about it's not about all men versus all women. It's about the fact that us men who are interested in women have to focus on the flaws of women, and you women who are interested in men have to focus on the flaws of men. And I don't think any of us here likely have any of those toxic traits, or at least not, to any extreme degree. But the fact is, people do. It says, change doesn't happen with bitterness and being petty about past experiences. It comes from within, using your own voice and empowering yourself. Love it. Harley says, I see a lot of women on social media who celebrate leaving their husbands. It's very strange. I would be heartbroken if I had to leave my husband. I would guess that is, they are heartbroken, but they know that if they twist it, be like, all right. They know that if they twist it to something that they did that's so positive for them, then they get all the other women coming in saying, oh my God, you did so amazing. And then Ron says, not just women. It's the fact that our society lets them unjustly wield power of the state against you. Yep. Thank you, sir. All right, we got him back. You good, brother?
Yeah, I hit the reload button by accident.
All right. So what is what did you think about all this?
So I wasn't here for the whole stream. So what I'm going to do is after this ends, while we're in Discord, I'm probably going to watch the stream from the beginning, skip through some parts so I can get a general idea of what happened and understanding. But I just wanted to add on what the other guy said. A lot of men don't know what it's like, will have to decide for themselves what they want to become as a man. So for me, someone who's never really had a real father figure in their life, it's particularly hard to decide what kind of man I want to become, because as you grow older, you're going to want a family, you're going to want this, you're going to want that. And as someone who wants to become a man and have those things, I just see these things on social media, people celebrating men getting their kids taken from them. It's just it kind of scares me to become a father. It's so what am I going to do if I do all this work to get to a certain point and it's all taken from me?
Mm-hmm. And that's a real thing that happens to men every single day. And every single one of them didn't think it was going to happen to them. And so I understand hearing this stuff as a woman probably gets you on your back foot. I don't like when women talk about how men do this and men are trash and blah, 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 blah. I don't like that, but I understand that they're not talking about me. That when they say that type of stuff and it doesn't apply to me, I'm like, oh, good. I guess I'm not as big of an asshole as I thought. But that doesn't mean that those guys don't exist. Obviously those guys exist. And so I would just implore, not saying anybody in particular, I would just implore women in general to understand that that is where we are coming from with this message. That it's not, we're saying that all of you do this, all of you do that. We're saying in the same way that you have to be careful that a man might, get physical with you. A man might do awful things to you. We have that on our side as well. That's it. So, anything else to add to that?
Yeah, I would like to just implore any young men watching that never look at another man and try to copy them. People like Andrew Tate, they have manly traits, but don't try to copy them, because that is not going to be you. You want to decide for yourself the kind of man you want to become. Do I want to be a rich person? Do I want just try to be a middle class kind of person? Or do I just want to chill with my life? Those are the kind of choices that you're going to make as a man.
I think that's good advice. And I don't think, when you say that, that doesn't mean that you have to pick a lane and then just be that for your whole life. It's a constantly evolving thing. That, okay, this is where I want my life to end up, or this is a general idea of what I want my life to look like, and here's where I am now. How do I get from point A to point B? And if you focus on that, instead of focusing on getting laid, and focus on being the best person that you can be, so that the options that you have are more vast. And if you there is a woman who's interested in you who was not the best quality woman, then you don't come from a scarcity and lack mindset where it's like, okay, well, like I did. Well, she's 3 weeks out of a 6-year relationship. Well, she's got a 9-year-old. Well, she has a terrible relationship with all of her family. Well, she's this, that, and the other. But nobody else is really going to touch my pee-pee, so screw my life, right? That is not how you want to go through life. And unfortunately, that is how a lot of men go through life. And it's sad. Well said. Well said. So you got a new channel that is on the rise, right? Why don't you tell the people about what you do, how to find you, all of that good stuff?
Well, my channel is Salty Plays Official. It's a gaming channel. I plan on doing a few videos this weekend with my friend group. We're getting together and getting a few videos out there. I've just been suffering from like writer's block, but with coming up with videos for YouTube, but I'm getting there. So go ahead, check it out. We're doing some videos this weekend. Thanks, guys.
Beautiful. And I just dropped the link in the description. So check out that channel if you are into that stuff. Thank you so much, Salty. I'm going to close it out, and then we're going to head over to Discord. Peace out.
All right.
So, thank you, David. I do appreciate that. And please do, if you have not liked this stream. We're 3 away from 30. I don't know if I've ever gotten 30 likes while I'm live. That would be awesome. But yeah, I mean, the idea here is that you have to be careful, like Salty just said. You have to be careful with wanting to just completely emulate somebody. There is, don't we all, Kelly? Don't we all? There's a lot of role models out there. Some are better than others, but the idea is that you want to take the pieces that work and not think dogmatically. Just like religious people, you can read the Bible, take the good parts out, and not follow the BS. Just like you leftists, there's things that the government does, and there's things that the church does wrong. But if you dogmatically accept that, well, Biden said it, so it must be better. Any of these will end you in the exact same position of being misinformed and living in a way that is not going to be for your best life. So just take what works and leave what doesn't, and take the time to determine the difference between the two. I don't think I can end on a better note than that. So thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate this. I hope you enjoyed this party. Once again, I am your host, Lutch, a.k.a. The Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Thank you again to A Different Shade of Purple for sponsoring the stream, as well as anybody else who donated. I really, really, really do appreciate it. Head to the Discord. Link is in the description. We are going over there right now. Until next time, guys, I am out of here. Peace.